LV Chinlian said. We'll first take a look at the profound being here and then head to the Demon Charming Association. Haunted Jaw / LV Chinlian said. We'll first take a look at the profound being here and then head to the Demon Charming Association. Haunted Jaw / What you think is good is just judging by the appearance. That's not accurate. Suddenly, an eye opened up from between Chen Xiang's brows and shot out a beam of golden light, looking at a gigantic white profound being that was as tall as two people. The reason why this piece of profound being could be placed here was because there were many natural patterns on the surface of this profound being. LV Chinlian shook his head. That's not it, because the outer layers of profound being are transparent, and there are even some flowers and herbs sealed in the transparent outer layers. However, those are all low-level spirit herbs, and there are a few transparent outer layers of profound being, as well as some frozen demon beasts' limbs. Then why don't you drive over and take a look? Chen Xiang was suddenly curious. I've opened a few, but none of them had any treasures, so I guess the other powers have one too, but up until now, they have yet to show it to us. It should be because they once obtained some treasures from these transparent profound being, and after knowing that you have the Chaos Divine Eye, I didn't touch them again, so when you confirm that the profound beings don't have any treasures, we can take them out to sell. Saying that, LV Chinlian revealed a mischievous smile. Chen Xiang laughed. Sister Lian, you are so evil. LV Chinlian laughed. I learned all these from you. Chen Xiang changed to another profound being and directly used the third one. When he looked at it, it was much faster, and there were more than 10 of them in a row, but he still did not find any treasures. After working for more than 2 hours, Chen Xiang had finished looking through all of them. Only one of the profound being had anything inside it. Not bad, one of the dozens of profound being has a treasure. LV Chinlian said happily. Sister Lian, I only said that there is something inside, but not necessarily a treasure. Chen Xiang spread out his hands and said, Don't blame me for not being able to see the treasure. LV Chinlian gently wiped the perspiration off his face and laughed. Why would I blame you? You must be very tired from using the Chaos Divine Eye. I still need to thank you. At this moment, Chen Xiang held his breath and said in his heart, This demon is so close, is she trying to kill someone? Once bitten by a snake, Chen Xiang would be afraid of GRA's ropes for 10 years. After the previous lesson, Chen Xiang was extremely fearful of this delicate queen of banshees, especially when she approached him. He felt like there was someone holding a sharp sword at his throat. When LV Chinlian saw that the more she wiped off Chen Xiang's sweat, the more Chen Xiang kept on staying. She quickly understood why, and couldn't help but giggle, then walked over to the profound being's side. Chen Xiang felt a sense of relief and said, Sister Lian, hurry up and break this profound being. LV Chinlian extended her jade finger. Her finger suddenly flashed with a dazzling light. It was as though a star was Hi+Ning. Her jade-like fingers lightly touched the profound being, and it immediately shattered, turning into a small pile of ice crystals on the ground. Hi+Ning with a sparkling and translucent light. This profound being was very big, so there were a lot of ice crystals. LV Chinlian waved his hand to let the ice crystal float in the air, and instantly saw a cyan stone the size of a watermelon. What is this? LV Chinlian controlled the limestone as he floated over and asked curiously. It looks like a demon beast egg. Could it be an ancient beast egg? Chen Xiang put away the ice crystals. These conditions were treasures to him, and as long as he controlled the method to refine these ice crystals, he would be able to concoct a pill of high quality that could raise the power of ice, or a pill that could explode with a very strong power of ice in an instant. I will use the Chaos Divine Eye to look around. LV Chinlian nodded and placed the cyan oval rock on the ground. The Chaos Divine Eye between Chen Xiang's brows opened and shot out a beam of golden light. Can you see anything? LV Chinlian asked anxiously. She was very curious about the thing inside the stone. because this was the first time she opened up the profound being, and gave out such a strange thing. Hugging the stone far away from LV Qinlian, he said with lingering fear, "Sister Lian, you have to control your emotions." Just now, Chen Xiang had smelled that fragrance again. "I'm sorry, I'll stay away from you." After that fragrance flips away, the poison is gone. LV Qinlian also felt that this rock was like a beast egg. Chen Xiang looked at it for a long time, his brows knitted tightly. "Strange, there is something inside, but this thing is very strange. Why would there be such a thing inside? Could I have seen wrongly?" "What is it?" LV Qinlian asked anxiously. "A person, a very small person, only the size of a palm. Furthermore, it's a woman. From the contours of her body, her figure seems to be protruding from the front and back, and her figure is very good. Is there really such a small person?" Chen Xiang felt that this was unbelievable. "I don't know. Can you move it away? Will you hurt her?" LV Qinlian asked. "Probably not. This stone should be there to protect the little guy. Moreover, there's a spiritual array inside the stone. It can absorb the energy from outside, and it can maintain the little guy's life while he's asleep. It might even be able to help her increase her strength." Chen Xiang took out the green dragon demon-slain broadsword, shrunk it to the size of a dagger, and then carefully cut into this rock. The stone was not very strong. Under the divine knife, it was cut open very quickly. As he cut it open, the green stone flashed with a green light. Chen Xiang immediately felt the incoming danger and quickly teleported through SPAC, distancing himself from the rock. Bang! With a loud MUF fled sound, the stone exploded. A small ball of green light shot towards Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang's chaos divine eye was still watching, and with a glance, he could tell that the ball of azure light was the little person inside the stone. Moreover, this little person even had a pair of translucent wings on his back, just like the pair Lan Lan had used before. "Little guy, don't be arrogant." Chen Xiang reached out his hand and grabbed the little person. Chen Xiang grabbed onto the lower half of the little person. Upon closer inspection, it was indeed a little beauty with an extremely good figure. Her body was only wrapped in a simple piece of cloth. "Yaya." The little fellow struggled in Chen Xiang's hands as he glared at Chen Xiang and shouted. This little person was very small, was only the size of a palm, and could be held with one hand. It had an exquisite little face, jade-like skin, soft body, and Chen Xiang felt comfortable holding it in his hand. Furthermore, it was very cool. "This." LV Qinlian's body flashed over as he said anxiously, "Hurry and give her to me. This seems to be a little demon fairy from the primordial era." When the little demon girl saw LV Qinlian, she immediately quietened down. Chen Xiang placed her in LV Qinlian's palm, and the little demon girl immediately danced on his jade palm, chattering away. But when she saw Chen Xiang, she immediately stuck out her tongue and grimaced. She still held on to her small fist and waved it at Chen Xiang. "What exactly is a little demoness?" Chen Xiang asked. LV Qinlian was very happy, with a sweet smile on his face. He played with the little demon girl on his palm with his fingers. To be able to produce a little demon from an primordial profound being, many people would not believe it if word of this got out. To be able to produce a little demon from an primordial profound being, many people would not believe it if word of this got out. If Chen Xiang had not seen it with his own eyes, he would not have believed it to be true. The little demoness was a type of demon from the ancient times, and she was usually transformed by some strange plant and could reproduce. The little demoness was a type of demon from the ancient times, and was usually transformed by some strange flower and strange plant. LV Qinlian herself was also transformed from a strange plant, but she was a bit older, so this little demon girl could be considered her own kind. "But why does she hate me so much? I let her go." Chen Xiang was very depressed. The little demon girl in LV Qinlian's hand had her eyes closed at the moment, and a red light shone from between her eyebrows. LV Chinlian said in a low voice, I am currently teaching her the human language. Don't look at her small stature, she is still very powerful, if not she would not have been able to live until now. The little demon's spirit opened her eyes and shook her elegant long hair. She looked at Chen Xiang and snorted, Big scoundrel, you messed up my house. Chen Xiang really wanted to reach out and touch this cute little demon. He said, Little demon, you need to know that I saved you. If it wasn't for me, you might have fallen into the hands of some really bad people. LV Chinlian quickly explained, and only after talking about the profound Bing did he dispel the misunderstanding. I'm not called Little Goblin, I'm called Xiao Yao. Although that's right and saved me, I still feel like he's not a good person. This little demon's words made Chen Xiang very unhappy. He could only stick out his tongue and make a face at her. Xiao Yao, what happened over there? Why are you and your residents inside these profound Bing? You were frozen for a very long time. LV Chinlian asked. Everyone was very curious about what was happening in profound cold ancient realm. I don't know, I only remember that it suddenly became very cold. There was a lot of snow, a lot of things were frozen, and at that time many of my companions were frozen to death. Because I myself was a fire flower, so I was very resistant to the cold. When Xiao Yao thought back to this matter, he felt extreme grief, because she was the only one who had survived. From her, Chen Xiang found out that there had once been a snowfall in the profound cold ancient realm, which resulted in the appearance of many profound Bing. Xiao Yao, come with me from now on. You don't have anywhere to go. LV Chinlian rubbed her little face with her jade fingers. And, thank you sister for taking me in. I will repay you. Xiao Yao said with a joyous expression. Sister Lian, aren't you afraid that she'll be poisoned to death? Chen Xiang said softly. This little demon did not have any attack power, but since she was formed from a strange flower or herb, she should have some power. Bad guy, you're underestimating me. I'm not afraid of poison. Back then, I lived in a patch of poisonous mushrooms. Xiao Yao said. LV Chinlian nodded his head. In order to protect themselves, little imps have to live by the side of many powerful poisonous flowers and herbs. Little thing, I'm not a bad guy. Chen Xiang declared in a very serious tone. I won't bother with you anymore. You look like a bad person. Xiao Yao flew over to LV Chinlian's head and turned into a very beautiful pink little flower. It attached itself to LV Chinlian's hairpin, making him very surprised. Chen Xiang changed his appearance to another one and said, Sister Lian, I will go to other areas that sell profound Bing. Wait for me to return, then we will go to Demon Charming A association together. Then go quickly, my place is also going to be open for business. After leaving the Sky Demon Pavilion, Chen Xiang immediately ran towards the nearest large shop and went to the place that displayed the profound Bing. He used the Chaos Divine Eye to observe the profound Bing, searching for treasures inside. This shop was not very big, only around 20 to 30 profound Bing. Chen Xiang did not find any profound Bing from here, so he quickly left and went to the next shop. He ran through 5 of the larger shops in northern Demon City and returned empty-handed. Although he could see that there was a profound Bing S with something inside, there were no treasures inside, only a pile of very old weeds. When Chen Xiang returned to the Sky Demon Pavilion, he found out that more than half of the profound Bing here had already been sold. Chen Xiang, I can't bring you to the Demon Charming A.S. association yet. One of our large sparite vein has been taken, all the spirit demons there are injured and are on the run. I need to go there immediately to take a look. LV Chinlian had also just received the news. Chen Xiang took out a few Relive Dan and handed them over to LV Chinlian. These are some of the Relive Dan, maybe they will be useful to you. LV Chinlian did not have many Relive Dan, so the more this kind of thing, the better. She did not reject it and accepted it. Chen Xiang really wanted to know which power actually dared to provoke this group of poison spirit demons. He had originally planned to go to the Demon Charming Association to see the profound being, then go to the profound cold ancient realm. Now, Chun Xiang had no choice but to change his plan. The illusion of the profound cold ancient realm was very bad, and it was not suitable for people to build cities. Although there were no longer any blizzards or things like that, they would occasionally blow out large amounts of cold air. It was said that the strength of this kind of ice beast was extremely terrifying. The strong ones could reach the strength of a worldly immortal, and the average one had the strength of nirvana tribulation. Many of the people who went in as a party were killed by these ice beasts. Furthermore, this was only a danger outside of profound cold ancient realm. In the depths, there were even more terrifying and unknown dangers. If one did not have the strength to go in, it would not be easy to think of coming out. After leaving the northern goblin city, Chun Xiang headed towards the north, and felt even colder and colder. In less than half a day, he arrived at the world of ice and snow. There were originally mountains and forests here, but they were all sealed up by ice. In front of them was a large expanse of ice, and cold winds blew in waves. This place was only the borders of the profound cold ancient realm, and was not very deep yet. Some would even form a group of 100 people and enter. This way, it would be safer, and if he entered alone, only the strong would be able to enter, but there were very few of these people. Previously, LV Qinlian had also advised Chun Xiang to not let him enter the profound cold ancient realm alone, but he felt that his escaping ability would not let him die inside. After the cold wind died down, it became very quiet, making people feel very eerie. However, at this moment, a loud explosion and trembling broke the dead silence. There were people fighting, and it was a battle between a large group of people. All of them were very powerful. Chun Xiang used Heaven Tour method. He immediately went to check on the situation. Little Ape King, what is the meaning of this? Don't think that just because your father is the Golden Ape King, you can randomly steal other people's things. Little Ape King, what is the meaning of this? Don't think that just because your father is the Golden Ape King, you can randomly steal other people's things. Hearing that, Chun Xiang immediately understood that Little Ape King and his group were plundering other people's things, but he was very strong, so he did not give in, but chose to clash with Little Ape King and the rest. Chun Xiang had long since disliked the Little Ape King. He did not expect to meet her here. At this moment, he had already swam over and was looking down from above. As expected, the Little Ape King was with the Black Tiger, and they even brought 8 people with them. Looks like they were planning to enter the profound cold ancient realm to search for profound being. The one they SNATC head from was a big bearded middle-aged man. He was tall and STURDY, 1 head taller than Little Ape King and the rest. Although his clothes were tattered, he did not sustain any injuries. Old Rhinoceros, as long as you hand over that holy dragon's scale, we'll spare your life. Little Ape King held a golden blade in his hand, surrounding the bearded middle-aged man. Was shocked. He had previously heard that someone had pulled out a gigantic beast scale from a very large profound being, but he did not expect it to be a dragon scale. Although it was just a single scale, a powerful holy dragon was extremely large. That scale was at least the size of a courtyard and was enough to build several sets of armor. It was simply a priceless treasure. Of course, Chun Xiang did not care about this kind of thing. He had the profound wood diamond armor, so he was much stronger than the holy dragon's scales. Keep dreaming. Even if you die, this daddy will not let you steal away a spar. You son of a bitch, you have completely lost your father's face. The man roared, took out 2 large blades, and rushed towards Little Ape King, his aura extremely fierce. With every step he took, he caused the ice on the ground to crack, and even created a burst of powerful energy, causing the ice on the ground to shatter. Little Ape King quickly retreated and shouted, "Quick, stop this old rhinoceros. The others had already started to attack the burly man, but his defensive capabilities were extremely powerful. Black armor suddenly appeared on his body, and as the weapons slashed down, sparks burst forth. "This old rhinoceros is really powerful," Chen Xiang exclaimed and immediately rushed over. Little Ape King was chased by the big-sized man until he was running for his life. The people following closely behind, no matter how they attacked, could not make the big-sized man slow down at all. This man was made up of an old rhinoceros, and could be considered a demonic beast. His strength was not bad, especially his defensive energy. Even after being attacked for so long, he was still able to move as if he was flying. Using the coordination of the shrinking step and spatial travel, Chen Xiang caught up to Little Ape King in an instant and suddenly appeared beside him. The sudden appearance of a person made the Little Ape King pale in fright, and the big-sized man behind him along with the others did the same. "You! It's actually you!" Little Ape King was even more surprised and shouted. Because the appearance that Chen Xiang was using now was the disguise of the black blood magic sunflower. Chen Xiang only laughed, then took out the black blood magic sunflower, and waved at the Little Ape King. "I also gave good stuff from the profound Bing, do you want to rob me too? Die!" When Little Ape King saw the other party take out a poisonous substance like the black blood magic sunflower, although he was terrified, in order to prevent the other party from using poison on him, he did not care about the big man chasing behind him, and slashed his blade towards Chen Xiang. The blade used by the Little Ape King might be a good weapon for others, but in Chen Xiang's eyes, it was just like a piece of scrap metal. He used his fist, which was wrapped in the white tiger glove, to hook towards the edge of the blade. With a whong sound, the large blade vibrated, and unexpectedly burst open from Chen Xiang's fist. Little Ape King was shocked by Chen Xiang's punch. He immediately felt that Chen Xiang's strength was strong enough to break his blade with one punch. "Humph!" The man who was chasing behind him snorted in anger and suddenly rushed over SMA's. Ing his head fiercely into Little Ape King's chest. Gotcha! The golden armor on Little Ape King's chest shattered, and he flew out ing into the ice mountain. "Kill them!" Little Ape King shouted in anger. Although he was hit by the big-sized man, he did not die. After all, he was the son of the Ape King. "Brother, you deal with the one in the back, leave this Little Ape King to me," Chen Xiang told the big-sized man. He then locked onto Little Ape King and used Form Displacement Shadow to teleport him over. Before Little Ape King could understand why he suddenly appeared in front of Chen Xiang, his face was fiercely punched by Chen Xiang. Bastard! Little Ape King was once again sent flying, cursing loudly. His body flashed with a gold light, and soon after, it became a giant golden ape the size of two people. Transforming into his original body would allow his strength to increase by a lot, but in Chen Xiang's eyes, this was much easier to attack. Although his body had become a lot larger, his speed was not slow. In a few steps, he had already arrived in front of Chen Xiang. His fist was as fast as lightning, bringing a gold light with it. It struck towards Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang jumped and dodged, his fist SMAs. Ing into the ice ground, and Little Ape King's other long and big arm also swung towards Chen Xiang. The huge palm seemed to be able to slap Chen Xiang into a need. The power behind it was extremely terrifying, even the ground was trembling slightly. The power of 10,000 mountains. 10,000 tall and majestic ice mountains suddenly appeared behind Chen Xiang. This ice mountain diagram only flashed by, but it gave Chen Xiang a huge amount of power. Chen Xiang used the ground killing, allowing him to wield the power of the earth. When Little Ape King's palm pressed towards him, he saw a translucent giant palm charging over SMAs. Ing into his golden ape giant palm. Boom! A loud sound shook the forest, and little Ape King's gigantic body was blasted flying. The gigantic palm that was attacking Qin Xiang was filled with cracks and bloody scars. Seeing this scene, the people that the little Ape King had brought no longer fought with the burly man and rushed towards the little Ape King. If the little Ape King died, they would all die. Great Void Stellar Seal. A star map suddenly appeared in the sky and fell down fiercely, like countless powerful meteors landing, SMAs. Plus-ing onto little Ape King's body with rumbling sounds, causing little Ape King to wail in pain as blood and flesh splashed out. Just as Qin Xiang wanted to continue his attack, a roar came from the horizon. Stop! Just as Qin Xiang appeared, a ball of golden light fell from the sky and landed beside little Ape King. Little brother, this is the Golden Ape King. The big man's face was solemn as he shouted to the Golden Ape King in the distance, Golden Ape King, how did you teach your son? This little bastard actually wants to kill me and take my things. Brother Rhinoceros, I'll apologize to you here. I promise there won't be a next time. If there is a next time, I'll personally punish this little bastard myself. The Golden Ape King said. The Golden Ape King gave a pretty good impression, so the rhinoceros didn't pursue the matter any further. After all, the little Ape King was also beaten badly. The Golden Ape King gave a pretty good impression, so the rhinoceros didn't pursue the matter any further. After all, the little Ape King was also beaten badly. Father, this guy has a black blood magic sunflower. He did not sell it to the Demon Empress. The little Ape King changed back into his human form and glared at Qin Xiang as he spoke. His hand had already shattered and his body was covered in blood, but he could still speak. So what? Those are his things, not yours. If you dare to steal someone else's things again, I'll cripple you. Hurry up and apologize. Judging from his appearance, it didn't seem like he was acting. Moreover, his own strength wasn't weak, and if he wanted to kill someone and steal their treasure, he probably would have done so long ago. Little Ape King clenched his teeth and apologized towards Qin Xiang and the rhinoceros. However, because he was not sincere enough, he was slapped by the Golden Ape King a few times, making his attitude much better. However, Qin Xiang and the rhinoceros both knew that this little Ape King hated them to the extreme. The Golden Ape King left with little Ape King and the others. The rhinoceros immediately thanked Qin Xiang. Thank you for your help, if not, the little Ape King would not have been taken down so easily. Qin Xiang laughed. Big brother rhinoceros, there's no need to be so polite. That rhinoceros asked. Little brother, are you going to the profound cold ancient realm? Qin Xiang asked. That's right big brother, you too. The rhinoceros shook its head. It's getting more and more dangerous inside the profound cold ancient realm, it's just my home outside. If you go in by yourself, it'll definitely be very dangerous. Qin Xiang did not expect the situation inside to be so dire. Why would it become so dangerous inside? The rhinoceros replied, let's walk while we talk. Qin Xiang and the rhinoceros walked towards the profound cold ancient realm together, but the rhinoceros did not go in. There are many profound beings in the profound cold ancient realm, especially in the depths where we can find all kinds of strange and unique profound beings, and it is very possible that those profound beings are growing strange flowers and herbs, because this profound cold ancient realm originally has high-level strange flowers and herbs. If it was before, it would be safer to enter, but since a month ago, a group of ice men appeared, it has become extremely dangerous inside. I wonder what kind of power that group of ice men actually have to be able to control that group of ice beasts. Also, this group of ice men really like to eat human flesh. If they get caught, they will all be eaten. Qin Xiang now understood that the reason the profound cold ancient realm was in danger was because of that group of ice men. The rhinoceros continued, those ice men are not only able to control ice beasts, but they also have a very powerful freezing energy. It is said that they can freeze people at will, and after some powerful weapons are frozen, they will break when they fall to the ground. Chen Xiang followed the rhinoceros to a very high ice mountain. Standing on the top of the ice mountain, looking at the vast ice plains in the distance, the rhinoceros pointed at the vast ice plains and said, "That place is the profound cold ancient realm. It is very safe outside. However, it is very difficult to find profound being, and one can only go deeper in, but the deeper regions are already occupied by the ice people." The rhinoceros knew that Chen Xiang's strength was extraordinary, otherwise, it would not have taken down the little ape king so easily. Furthermore, Chen Xiang's attitude towards entering the profound cold ancient realm was very firm, so he did not try to dissuade him. Chen Xiang bid farewell to the rhinoceros and stepped into the profound cold ancient realm. After walking at a slow pace for half an hour, he had already felt that this icy cold power was very similar to the one released by the profound being. Chen Xiang came here to find more profound beings, so he could use them to refine pills. This was because the energy contained within the profound being was extremely strong and scary. Previously, he had inquired about the method to find the primordial profound being, which was to walk around randomly. If there was a profound being deep underground, one would be able to sense it while walking on it. This was because the cold energy released by the profound being was very special and strong. Walking on the ice plains, Chen Xiang could see many deep craters in the ground. He now understood why some profound being were so expensive. Some profound being would even be at the bottom of some huge crevices, which were difficult to dig. Chen Xiang had already said through a few of them, but he had not sensed any profound being at all. It had already been 2 days since Chen Xiang entered the profound cold ancient realm. It was like a large frozen ocean inside the profound cold ancient realm, only that there would occasionally be a group of tall mountains, and most of them were flat ice lands. Truly amazing. There are many pitfalls. Chen Xiang saw that many of the pits had been dug very deep. It could be seen that this piece of ice was extremely thick, and the thing that was truly frozen should be located very deep in the ice. I think that a lot of profound being were broken by those powers. Maybe some forces already got their treasures from the profound being, but they just did not announce it to the public. Along the way, when Chen Xiang saw those pits, he knew that there were many profound being that had been dug out. There was no night in the profound cold ancient realm. The sky was always covered by thick clouds, and from time to time, there would be a cold wind blowing. If someone without any power came in, they would definitely be frozen to death. Until now, he had never seen those ice men and beasts. After Chen Xiang wandered around here for 5 days, he finally felt the profound being. It was the cold energy unique to profound being, and anyone who approached it would be able to feel it. Chen Xiang was pleasantly surprised. He released his divine power and probed the exact location of the profound being in the depth. Naturally, he would not release it like the others did. I found it. There shouldn't be a problem with the distance, but this profound being is really big. After Chen Xiang locked onto the profound being, he used form displacement transposition and used the power of the spatial laws to bring the profound being up. This piece of profound being was very big. It was 2 people tall, round, and green. It released waves of green light, so it could not be considered a special profound being, because its shape was very ordinary, and its color and light were also very common. After he took the profound being out from the depths of the frozen ground, the large amount of special icy cold power released by this round ball of profound being quickly spread to its surroundings. Very quickly, a group of over 30 people arrived in the distance. They were all wearing fiery red clothes, and Chen Xiang could tell at a glance that these were the Fire Divine Palace's clothes. Fire Divine Palace did not suffer any serious losses, so the rankers hidden in the Fire Divine Palace were also unknown. It was just that Fire Divine Palace had been keeping a low profile during this period of time, so no one knew of his true strength. Chen Xiang hurriedly put away the profound being, but the group of Fire Divine Palace people saw it from afar. It was so big, and also released a green light. It was always a normal profound being, and it was very easy for people to think that there was something inside. Chen Xiang was not afraid of the people from the Fire Divine Palace, and he even liked these people from the Fire Divine Palace a lot. This was because all of them had Fire Soul S in their bodies, and from his point of view, these people had come to deliver the Fire Soul to him. As the people of Fire Divine Palace slowly approached, Chen Xiang suddenly felt that something was wrong, because he saw that behind the group of people from Fire Divine Palace, there was a group of white people following. Their skin and fur were all as white as snow, their eyes flashed with white light, and they exhaled white smoke. As the people of Fire Divine Palace slowly approached, Chen Xiang suddenly felt that something was wrong, because he saw that behind the group of people from Fire Divine Palace, there was a group of white people following. Their skin and fur were all as white as snow, their eyes flashed with white light, and they exhaled white smoke. The ice men mentioned by the old rhinoceros must be the ones in front of him. What surprised Chen Xiang was that these ice men were actually together with the Fire Divine Palace. This made him wonder if there was any cooperation between the Fire Divine Palace and the Icemen, or if the Fire Divine Palace could enslave these Icemen. If that was really the case, it meant that the Fire Divine Palace wanted to use these Icemen to drive people into the profound cold ancient realm to search for profound being. Not only would they drive them away, they might even kill them and loot their goods. The group of Fire Divine Palace in front of him were not weak. A few of them were the kind that were only one step away from leveling up. What was even more surprising was that behind this group of people, on the flat plain, large ice beasts suddenly appeared one after another. These ice beasts were all in the form of wild beasts: lions, tigers, wolves. It was just that its size was huge, and the icy cold power on its body was extremely powerful, so it was unknown how it was formed. The group of icemen were all riding on top of those huge ice beasts, and a few sharp ice spears were condensed in their hands as they faced Chen Xiang, ready to throw them at him at any time. Chen Xiang never thought that the opposing forces would suddenly become so powerful, especially the ice beasts. The cold energy that they released was extremely strong, causing Chen Xiang to be wary. He could feel that the cold energy that the ice beasts and ice men were releasing were very similar to that of the primordial profound being. The mysterious primordial profound being already contained a lot of powerful energy. If these mysterious ice men and beasts could absorb those profound being and turn them into their own energy, then the released cold energy would definitely be very powerful. If it were only the people from the Fire Divine Palace, Chen Xiang would definitely not be afraid of them. But now there were those ice beasts that were neither human nor ghost, and they were also very strong. He felt that even magical corruption gas would not be able to deal with these things. Let's go, and find a chance to take care of these Fire Divine Palace guys. Chen Xiang was not a match for anyone. Furthermore, he was not clear about how strong the icemen and beasts were, so he decided to leave first. The people from the Fire Divine Palace had already seen that he was about to leave and anxiously shouted, "Lock him up, don't let him leave, he just obtained a large piece of profound being." Chen Xiang had already kept the profound being. Although he heard this, he still turned around and ran. Just as he took 2 steps forward, the ground suddenly trembled, and translucent thick ice walls appeared around Chen Xiang, forming a gigantic barrier that trapped Chen Xiang and the group of Fire Divine Palace inside. Chen Xiang, who was running frantically, crashed into the thick ice walls and was stopped. These ice walls were very strdy, yet his fierce strike did not leave any mark on them. Don't even think about running. Obediently hand over that profound being and become our slave, then you will continue to live. Otherwise, you will be reduced to the food of the ice demons behind me. A middle-aged man from Fire Divine Palace said indifferently. Looking at his appearance, one could tell that he did this frequently. Qin Xiang finally understood why this profound, cold, ancient realm had suddenly become so dangerous. It was actually caused by the command of a group of powerful ice demons so that they could monopolize the profound being inside. What Qin Xiang was puzzled about was, how exactly did the people of the Fire Divine Palace control these ice demons? The ice demon that the Fire Divine Palace mentioned was extremely powerful, and there were a lot of them as well, and the power of frost was extremely strange, seeing that they could easily create such a powerful ice wall. It could be said that in the profound cold ancient realm, they were the absolute rulers. How could they listen to the orders of these Fire Divine Palace fellows? Qin Xiang suddenly had an idea and asked, "Ice Demon, the thing behind you is called Ice Demon, aren't you from the Fire Divine Palace? Why are you colluding with Ice Demon, who kills humans in the profound cold ancient realm? You know too much. For you to be able to come here alone means that you have a certain level of strength. You should understand that we won't let you off. You should know what to do now." The middle-aged man's voice became gloomy. If it was before, Qin Xiang only planned to escape first before saying anything, but now, he knew these ice men were demons, and secretly rejoiced in his heart. His green dragon demon-slain broadsword was specialized in suppressing demons, and he had mastered techniques to deal with them. In particular, that holy devil-suppressing seal was a nightmare for demons. Qin Xiang said, "If I were to give you the profound Bing, you would let me go. I will give it to you, but I'm afraid that you all are unwilling." The middle-aged man became impatient and his voice became even colder. "Of course, you must be our slave." Qin Xiang laughed coldly. "Since that's the case, you all must die." Once the word "die" was said, Qin Xiang stepped onto the shrinking step. His body emitted a burst of cyan light and flew towards the group of ice demon beasts at an extremely fast speed. In an instant, Qin Xiang entered the group of ice demons. This action made it hard for the group of Fire Divine Palace people to understand, because in their eyes, this was an act of seeking death, even though Qin Xiang's speed surprised them. However, they soon felt that something was wrong, because they could sense a very strong aura of a dragon. Qin Xiang had already taken out his green dragon demon-slain broadsword. When he flew over, he released the devil-suppressing holy power and used it to slash at the ice demon riding on top of a giant wolf. The appearance of the devil-suppressing holy power caused these ice demons to feel extremely terrified. They all shouted out in a high-pitched voice that caused one's hair to stand on end, and their bodies even released a very strong ice-cold aura that instantly condensed into a thick layer of ice armor to protect their bodies. The green dragon demon-slain broadswords were poured into the berserk devil-suppressing holy power, causing this divine blade to become millions of kilograms heavy. When it violently slashed down, the wave of strong pressure that it emitted collided with the cold energy, and like thunder, it cut down everything in its path. A rumbling sound was heard, followed by a sharp scream. Before the ice demon could even touch Qin Xiang's divine blade, its body was crushed by the strong air pressure. By the time the God's saber had completely slashed onto the Iceman's body had already shattered, and the huge wolf beneath him was also split into two by Qin Xiang. In just an instant, Qin Xiang killed an ice demon. Under normal circumstances, this ice demon would be extremely strong, especially with its defensive power. However, facing Qin Xiang's divine blade and devil-suppressing holy power, it couldn't even withstand a single blow. Green dragon demon-slain broadsword, it's Qin Xiang. The people of Fire Divine Palace panicked. Qin Xiang's green dragon demon-slain broadsword and devil-suppressing holy power were both the nemesis of demons and had a very strong killing power towards them. Seeing these demons with the powerful icy cold power so weak, Qin Xiang was overjoyed. As expected, these ice demons were afraid of the devil-suppressing holy power and the green dragon demon-slain broadsword. "Quickly kill him!" the middle-aged man from devil-suppressing divine palace shouted. Qin Xiang had already leapt to the top. At this time, the group of ice demons on the ground all threw ice spears, as waves of angered and sharp cries came out of their mouths. Shua, with a slash from Chen Xiang, the green dragon demon-slain broadsword suddenly grew in length and dozens of them appeared. They were like a gigantic fan that enveloped the ice demon and ice beast below and shattered those ice spears. Before, when the demon master of the Heaven Thunder Purgatory was facing Qin Xiang's green dragon demon-slain broadsword and devil-suppressing holy power, he had felt that they posed a great threat, but now, these icemen were like paper in Qin Xiang's eyes. What was even more terrifying was that when the wave of sword shadows from the green dragon demon-slain broadsword pressed down, a loud noise came out. The sound of thunder was actually the power of the 10th layer of devil-suppressing power. All sorts of violent powers exploded out at the same time, enveloping downwards and colliding onto the ice ground. Those ice men and beasts were smashed into pieces by Chen Xiang's blade, as if they were made of mud. Kill him! The people from the Fire Divine Palace were shocked. They never thought that Chen Xiang would actually be so powerful, killing off the group of powerful ice demons and ice beasts with a few breaths. They thought that it was all because of the green dragon demon-slain broadsword, and this made them even more anxious to snatch it. After Chen Xiang slashed his blade down, he immediately rushed towards the group of people from Fire Divine Palace. With that speed, it could be said to be terrifying, and in half a blink of an eye, he charged into the crowd. Blood blossomed into the air. The berserk dragon power, accompanied by a terrifying killing intent, surged out and filled the entire ice barrier, causing people to feel as if millions of lives had been lost in this battlefield, and Chen Xiang was the god of death here. Just as Chen Xiang charged into the crowd, he instantly killed over 10 people. All of them were not very strong, their reaction speeds were not as fast, like weeds. They were all killed by Chen Xiang. Some of them had their heads chopped off, some of them were broken at the waist. The scene was extremely bloody, but compared to the intense killing intent that surged out from Chen Xiang, these people were nothing. Just as Chen Xiang charged into the crowd, he instantly killed over 10 people. All of them were not very strong, their reaction speeds were not as fast, like weeds. They were all killed by Chen Xiang. Some of them had their heads chopped off, some of them were broken at the waist. The scene was extremely bloody, but compared to the intense killing intent that surged out from Chen Xiang, these people were nothing. As the killing heart jumped, an endless killing intent gushed out from it, causing Chen Xiang's strength to become even stronger, and made Chen Xiang's strength contain an unmatched killing intent. This wave of killing intent enveloped everyone, causing them to feel that it was the most terrifying thing in the world. "Don't be afraid of him, he's just bluffing," that middle-aged man roared loudly, making it so that their auras weren't that weak. At this moment, only a few elders remained. They attacked one after another, throwing out palms and punches in unison. Waves of terrifying fire attacks struck out, actually slowly melting the huge ice barrier that was shrouding them. The thing that Chen Xiang was least afraid of was fire, so no matter how many experts there were in Fire Divine Palace, he would not be afraid. Just as he was about to attack, Chen Xiang was hit back by multiple flame attack. Your fire soul is not bad, and these flames have a certain degree of vitality. I will accept them. Chen Xiang laughed out loud. He opened his mouth and activated devouring magic kung fu, locking onto the incoming flame power, and his dantian also became a fire dantian. Chen Xiang inhaled fiercely, and all of the flame energy that was attacking him once again entered his mouth. It only took a few seconds for it to be completely swallowed by him. With his current strength, it would be a piece of cake for him to refine the flames that had been devoured. At this moment, his body was emitting a bit of fire qi, which was released when he was refining the flames. Those people from the Fire Divine Palace were stunned. The combined attack just now, even if it was a worldly immortal, would not dare to face it head-on. However, Chen Xiang was not only unscathed due to the attack just now, he was now consuming their flames. Monster. The group of Fire Divine Palace S suddenly realized that Chen Xiang was also a strong flame user. They knew that Chen Xiang was a powerful alchemist, but they never expected his flames to be powerful to such an extent. The people from Fire Divine Palace wanted to escape, but the Ice S HI plus elds that the Ice Men had released became an obstacle in their escape. You must die. Chen Xiang roared in anger, and all of the innate qi within the 30 heaven pellets in his body gushed out, transforming into a berserk dragon power, causing a large piece of the ice plains to crack from the shockwave. Songlong slash. The force released by the green dragon demon-slain broadsword surged like waves. Suddenly Russ HI plussing forward, the waves were as sharp as blades, and the waves also seemed to be formed from countless sharp blades, sweeping across in a formidable array. Ah! As they screamed out miserably one after another, those from the Fire Divine Palace, in the face of Chen Xiang's full power attack, had no way out. They could only allow the blue wave blade to slash at them, as lines after lines of shocking BLOODY scars appeared on their bodies. Now there were only 3 people left. One of them was a middle-aged leader, and the other 2 were old people. Their entire bodies were covered in visible bone blades wounds. Chen Xiang, who had experienced the Nirvana tribulation, was terrifyingly strong, and was not something an ordinary person like them could compare to. They truly regretted provoking Chen Xiang, and if not for that, they might have continued to lead that group of ice demons to sweep this field of ice. Chen Xiang was unmerciful. He immediately teleported and leaped to the side of the 3 people. With a swipe of his claw, he pierced through their bodies and activated devouring magic kung fu, absorbing their fire soul. You are engulfing our fire soul. That Fire Divine Palace middle-aged man's face was filled with shock. It had always been only his Fire Divine Palace who plundered other people's fire soul, but now it was their turn to be robbed by others. Chen Xiang remained silent as he pushed his devouring magic kung fu to its limits and sucked all 3 people's fire soul out. Chen Xiang's way of plundering their fire soul was extremely barbaric, causing them to feel extremely miserable. These were 3 cyan-colored fire souls, which had been merged by Chen Xiang and turned into blue-colored fire soul. Chen Xiang killed the 2 old ones, then used the soul-absorbing devil spell to search the middle-aged man's memories. He wanted to know how the Fire Divine Palace controlled those ice demons, as well as a few things related to the Fire Divine Palace's activities in the profound cold ancient realm. Soul Search. A spell. The middle-aged man felt his memories being ked by someone as he shouted in fear. You can die now. Chen Xiang used the soul-absorbing devil spell to carry out a soul attack and directly erased the middle-aged man's soul. Chen Xiang was extremely excited when he found out about this explosive thing. I never thought that the Fire Divine Palace would have been here already. Many people were killed by them in secret and a large number of profound Bing were taken by them. Those ice demons were let out by them from the profound Bing, and they used a secret technique to tamper with the ice demon's soul while the ice demon was sleeping, allowing them to control a large number of ice demons. Does this Fire Divine Palace want to rule over the profound cold ancient realm? Su Meiyao asked. That's not it. Profound cold ancient realm is still very powerful deep inside. They don't dare to go deep there either. However, they used these ice demons to find a large number of profound Bing. I know where they stored them. This made Chen Xiang excited, because he no longer needed to look for profound Bing S aimlessly. As long as he finished looking over the places where S were stored, he would be able to obtain a large amount. Now, Chen Xiang knew that all those ice demons were from the primordial era and were let out by the Fire Divine Palace. Furthermore, the Fire Divine Palace knew that the ice demons existed within the profound Bing, and in order to enlarge the Ice Demon Legion, They wantonly swept through the outer circle of the profound cold ancient realm, trying to get as many of them as possible. As for these ice beasts, they were all native to the profound cold ancient realm, and it was unknown when they came out of it and continued to reproduce until now, but they were still quite powerful. However, these ice beasts did not have much intelligence and could not defend at all against sudden sneak attack. Chen Xiang ran up the profound cold ancient realm alone. According to the memories he found, he was Rus. Hi plus ing to the base the Fire Divine Palace set up here. The big shots of the Fire Divine Palace seemed to know the uses of these profound being. Not only did they gather the treasures inside the profound Bing and the ice demon, they were also doing other things as well. According to the middle-aged man's memories, when the Fire Divine Palace gathered a large number of profound Bing together, it could produce a very strong icy cold power. This kind of icy cold power was extremely special and came from the profound Bing. As for what uses it had, the middle-aged man had no right to know either. The place where the Fire Divine Palaces were stored was deep underground. They had built an extremely large underground palace there, and over the years, the Fire Divine Palace had kept a very low profile, but the secret was that the profound cold ancient realm was able to control such a powerful force. If D Tian fully recovered his powers in the future, then among the D Tian, the strongest person would be the Fire Divine Palace. Fire Divine Palace's way of keeping a low profile was smarter than those ancient powers. When Chen Xiang found out about this, he couldn't help but feel a chill down his spine. Traveling through the night, he took 3 days to arrive next to a huge ice mountain. At the side of the ice mountain, there was a cave that he could enter, but the security was very tight, so it wasn't easy to silently enter. Such an important place must definitely be guarded by a very strong person. If he were to face the siege of those kind of worldly immortals or immortal monarchs, it would be difficult for Chen Xiang to resist, so he planned to quietly enter that underground palace and steal away the large amount of profound Bing that were stored inside. Now is the time to test the art of change. Chen Xiang saw snow falling from the sky, and the snow was being blown everywhere by the strong wind. The cave entrance is only guarded by the Ice Demon and Fire Divine Palace's fellows. There aren't many people in the depths, and it's very dark. Long Shui said. Chen Xiang took a deep breath, turned himself into a thumb-sized drop of snow, and floated towards the cave. If he became a turfly or something like that, it would definitely arouse suspicion, and right now, there was already some snow that was as big as a goose feather blowing towards the cave. Chen Xiang had sneaked into the snow and entered the cave along the wind. After entering, the lump of snow that was formed from Chen Xiang rolled on the ground for a bit, and under the watchful eyes of the group of ice demons and people, it easily entered the depths of the cave, and successfully dove in. Although he could successfully sneak in, he was still worried that he would be discovered. If he alarmed the experts here, they might let the experts take the profound Bing back, and at that time, it would be very difficult for him to get hold of it. He did not want to miss this chance. Although he could successfully sneak in, he was still worried that he would be discovered. If he alarmed the experts here, they might let the experts take the profound Bing back, and at that time, it would be very difficult for him to get hold of it. He did not want to miss this chance. This sage was very wide, so walking along it side by side with 7 or 8 people wasn't a problem. Based on Long Shui's state of mind when he went out to explore, he could see that there was a deep pit at the end of the sage that led to the underground palace, where he could directly jump into it. Halfway through, there was suddenly someone in front. Chen Xiang immediately turned into a small stone, quietly sitting on the ground. What kind of people entered the profound cold ancient realm and actually annihilated one of our squadrons? That group of people are considered very strong in the current D Tian's eyes, and they even brought a group of ice demons with them. They were all exterminated. Based on the situation with the life pearl splitting apart, they all died in batches. A person walked out of the tunnel and said, "It should not be them. There are also a few that have that kind of strength, but I have a feeling that, if it wasn't them, for example, Zhuo Jinshuan who is going to guard the devil-subduing college, Chen Xiang who is going to guard the devil-subduing college, he probably won't come here right now. His wife's divine weapon's heavenly country is currently being said by the devil race. Forget it for now, since there's such a guy in profound cold ancient realm, we shouldn't go out during this period." Tap, tap, tap. Chen Xiang, who had turned into a small stone, was kicked by one of the fellows, rolling on the ground. B-A-S-T-A-R-D. Chen Xiang secretly cursed in his heart. According to the conversation between the two, Fire Divine Palace already knew that the group of people were dead. Fortunately, he did not impersonate that group of people. Otherwise, he would have been easily discovered. After the two of them left, Chen Xiang turned into a small worm and continued moving forward. This pit is very deep, and you can tell that it was built to allow for a large number of people to enter and leave. At this moment, he guessed that there should be a large number of people or ice demons in your underground palace. It was not easy for Chen Xiang to descend either. There were many layers of formations around, and they could not be touched. Fortunately, his formation could be considered sable as well, as the formations laid along the way could be easily avoided. From this, it could be seen that this underground ice palace was extremely tight, but Chen Xiang still managed to sneak in. Chen Xiang roughly estimated that it was at least 2,000 meters deep. If it continued, there would be over 300 array formations, and if there was anyone that wanted to enter, there would be a special array master that would control the closing of the array formation, allowing those people to pass through. When Chen Xiang went down, there were already a few people coming up from below. These people were all patrolling back and forth, and one could tell that they protected this place very well. Judging from the traces of digging, this must have been built more than 10 years ago. Long Shui said. More than 10 years ago, the Fire Divine Palace was already here. Chen Xiang did not expect them to arrive so early. Arriving at the underground, it was yet another vast passage, but it was not very bright and was very suitable for Chen Xiang to enter stealth. There were many people guarding here, although they were not very strong, but if this group of people worked together, Chen Xiang was not confident in being able to kill them in one strike. Even if he could exterminate all of them in a short period of time, it would cause a huge commotion. If he did not have absolute confidence, Chen Xiang would definitely not make a move, so he had already missed out on 2 people who possessed Fire Soul. They had to pass through this passage to reach the underground palace. Chen Xiang went through a narrow crack at the middle of a thick metal door and arrived at a very grand hall. Even though it was very dark here, Chen Xiang could see it very clearly. What is the Fire Divine Palace trying to do? To build a palace for their emperor in the future. But they shouldn't build an underground palace. Chen Xiang thought in his heart. He carefully flew towards a door based on the memories he had swallowed. Behind the door was the road that led to the huge warehouse. That place was located at the center of the underground palace, and was just below it. On one hand, these array formations were to prevent people from barging in, and on the other hand, if anyone touched those array formations, they would alert the experts guarding this place. So Chen Xiang was extremely careful. He had already walked a large portion of the way, and definitely would not fall short. There weren't any guards patrolling this path, but there were many extraordinary formations, and they were all very powerful and very difficult to break through. If a very powerful formation master were to enter, it would take a few days to silently break through the formation. But Chen Xiang only used more than 6 hours to pass it. He only understood how powerful the power of the ancient code was when he was here, otherwise he would not have been able to come here so easily. Of course, his current strength was still too weak, and he was still unable to fully display the power of the spatial profound pearl. Otherwise, he could have easily gone to that warehouse. This warehouse is very powerful. I can feel that the terrifying icy cold power is being transported to a certain place. Could it be that there's something extraordinary up there? Long Shui said in shock. Can you check inside? Chen Xiang asked. I couldn't detect it, but it's filled with the strange icy cold power that the profound being released. It's very dense, and you know that my consciousness can't see through the profound being, so my consciousness was blocked by the dense icy cold power. Long Shui said. In front of the warehouse there was a huge sealed iron door. Chen Xiang could only go through SPAC to enter. I hope there's nothing powerful inside. Even if there is, it's best not to discover me. Chen Xiang said in his heart. He, who had transformed into a mosquito, did not lose any strength in his body. Therefore, he could use the power of the laws of SPAC to allow him to traverse the SPAC through this door. Under normal circumstances, traveling through SPAC would cause fluctuations in SPAC, which could be easily felt by others, but he wouldn't. This was because the law of SPAC he grasped was one with nature, so traveling through SPAC was very natural. There's actually someone here. Chen Xiang was shocked. Although he couldn't see anything from here, he could feel it. This warehouse was filled with profound being of all sizes. There were many different kinds and colors, and most of them could release light. Chen Xiang estimated that there were at least 5,000 profound being here. Such a large number of profound being, and they were all of good quality. The released icy cold power were all extremely dense, which showed that the profound being that could be put into this place were all meticulously selected. As for whether or not there were any treasures inside, Chen Xiang did not know right now. He did not have the time to check it out. What he needed to do was to wait for the people inside to leave, and then quickly move the profound being inside. Even if the profound being did not have any treasures, they would make him salivate just by looking at them. If he were to sell them, they would be of sky-high prices. These two fellows are very strong. I never thought that the Fire Divine Palace would actually hide such a powerful guy. Seems like they are at the late period of human immortal, or perhaps at the early stages of the immortal monarch. Chen Xiang could feel that the two fire attribute innate qis inside pierced through the dense icy cold power. However, even if these two rankers were powerful, they would need to use the power in their bodies to protect themselves from the icy cold power at all times. I wonder when we will be able to complete the orders from the higher-ups and revive the Ice Emperor. Sigh, why did we have to do it when the Ice Emperor was revived? The two of us came here and obtained quite a few Fire Souls, but none of us received any rewards. From the sound of it, this was a young man. When Chen Xiang heard his words, he was extremely shocked. They actually wanted to revive a fellow called Ice Emperor. Little naughty dragon, do you know who this Ice Emperor is? He can't be as powerful as you, right? Chen Xiang asked. How would I know? But I think it should be related to this profound cold ancient realm. Didn't that big white cat say that this place was filled with snow and ice before? Long Shui said. The white tiger did indeed say it again, but at that time this place was also very dangerous. Even 10 Heaven's Supreme Lord and the White Tiger did not dare to enter deeply, so what's with the appearance of the Ice Emperor here? Chen Xiang started to think of a plan to move the profound being away without the two of them noticing. If he could get half of it, that would be good enough. Chen Xiang did not dare make any big movements. The two guards in the warehouse were both strong. If he were to alarm the two of them, it might cause many stronger people to come over. Chen Xiang did not dare make any big movements. The two guards in the warehouse were both strong. If he were to alarm the two of them, it might cause many stronger people to come over. So he had to be very careful, which made it even more difficult. Looks like we can only kill them. If they die, even if the people outside discover it immediately, they would need some time to rush over. You can take advantage of this time to take the profound being away. Long Shui said. Chen Xiang did not agree with his thought. No, what if those people come really quickly? I think I can use the drunk G.O.D. powder. They were just poisoned, and with their strength, they wouldn't be killed instantly by the poison. When they expel the poison, it would be me doing the deed. This will expose the drunk G.O.D. magical poison, but they don't know your true ident. 1. Tai, so it shouldn't be a big problem. You just need to hide your ident. 1. Tai, and don't let them see through you. Long Shui said. You have to be careful, they will notify others to come over. For example, they will use communication jade symbol paper S. Chen Xiang thought for a moment, then said, That's easy, keep an eye on them. If they want to use it, just destroy their jade talismans. You should be able to do it, right? That's not a problem. I'll help you keep an eye on the outside, so you can act faster later. Chen Xiang and Long Shui discussed for a while, but only this way was feasible. In another month, that whatever profound Bing will start, and at that time we will definitely have the most profound Bing in the Fire Divine Palace. It's the strangest, and perhaps we can even sell it for a good price. The two men began to chat again. I heard that there are many famous forces that were not invited to the Profound Being Society. It is said that at that time we will also establish a Profound Ice City, and this city will specialize in selling Profound Being. This way, it will be easier for us to find the Profound Being's people to find a good place to look for our teammates, and at that time we can all… Heh. Chen Xiang already knew that this group of people from the Fire Divine Palace were not good people. He never thought that they would actually plot against him. If he didn't get rid of this place by itself, then in the future, those who would enter the profound cold ancient realm to search for Profound Being would mostly fall into the hands of the Fire Divine Palace. Right now, Chen Xiang was sure that the reason the Fire Divine Palace gathered the Profound Being was to provide that kind of special icy cold power, so that a guy named Ice Emperor could revive. Since these Profound Being are here, then Ice Emperor must be here as well. Chen Xiang really wanted to destroy this place, but this underground palace was extremely strdy and would not be easy to destroy. Furthermore, there should be other rankers protecting this place. If only Bai Xing was here, I could have let her use that secret method and summon some meteorites. Chen Xiang turned into a hunchbacked old man, took out his death-haunting arrow, and hid all of his presence to the extreme. Then, he quietly condensed his chi arrow and mixed the drunk G.O.D. powder into it at the same time. Even if the two arrows could not pierce into the two people's bodies, the drunk G.O.D. powder that burst out would be able to quickly enter their bodies, instantly paralyzing them and preventing them from moving or even talking, making them look like drunkards. When they went to look for the chaotic mountain in the future, the Super Yuan sect leader would know that it was the drunk G.O.D. scent, and he would be the fastest one to run. This showed how terrifying the drunk G.O.D. magical poison was. Chen Xiang suspected that the Three Horns Dragon King was affected by this, and thus was killed by the Super Yuan sect leader. Just as the two of them were getting more and more excited, a swoosh sound was heard, and two dark arrows flew out. To be suddenly attacked in a place like this was very hard to imagine. It was because in their eyes, no one could come to this place without making a sound. Even if they did not expect that someone was here, the reaction of the two elderly men caused Chen Xiang to be shocked. In that moment they sensed that someone was ambushed. Hi+ing them and immediately released a strong Hi+ELD of Qi, blocking the two hidden arrows that Chen Xiang had shot out with his death-haunting arrow. Compared to the two elders, Chen Xiang was still far behind in terms of strength, so he was easily able to block the Qi arrow that he had condensed. Fortunately, he had already considered such a situation, so after being blocked by the Qi arrow, it still exploded. "Who is it?" The old man let out a roar and quickly looked around, but he did not see anyone around. At that moment, the other old man's face fell. He quickly sat down cross-legged and circulated the power within his body to resist the strange energy that had suddenly appeared on his body. The power actually went as far as to numb his body. The old man who shouted also found out, his face ashen, because he recognized what the thing that paralyzed his strength was. It was one of the super old poison, the drunk G.O.D. magical poison S. The drunk G.O.D. powder S all entered the two old men's bodies. They would not be able to die nor move for a while, so they could only sit there and use all their strength to expel the poison. What Chen Xiang wanted was this kind of effect. If these two people died, once their life origin orbs ruptured, it would be discovered by outsiders and Chen Xiang wouldn't have the time to remove those profound being. Although those two old men had ugly expressions on their faces, although they were unable to move, they opened their eyes. They wanted to see exactly who it was that had actually managed to use this sort of strange poison to ambush them. Very quickly, they saw a hunchbacked old man skillfully taking away the pieces of beautiful profound being. In the blink of an eye, he had lost 4 or 5 of them, and it was by choosing the best one to take away as well. However, they could only bleed in their hearts. The profound being here had taken them many years, and they had spent a lot of manpower and resources to collect it, but now it had been taken away by a hunchbacked old man. Quickly, it seems like someone noticed. Long Shui urged because she already heard some noise coming from outside. Chen Xiang had already taken away more than 2,000 pieces, and there was still more than half of them here. If he wanted to take away these profound being and touch them with his hands, he had already used his maximum speed. In the blink of an eye, there were more than 1,000 less profound being left. The two old men sat in the middle and watched as the profound beings around them disappeared one by one, and they felt blood welling up in their hearts, but they could do nothing. They could only watch as the man brought the profound being away. Had also felt that it was enough and rushed to the back of the two old men, releasing all the fire innate chi from his body, and poured it into the bodies of the two old men. The two old men were just like ordinary people after being struck by the drunk G.O.D. magical poison. Even though their bodies were strong, they would still become like tofu after being struck by the poison. Chen Xiang waved his sleeves, collecting all the ashes, then turned into a mosquito and flew towards the direction of the big door. In the next moment, dozens of immortal grade rankers also rushed in, because the number of profound being here suddenly decreased, and they did not have much icy cold power, so they could immediately feel that there was a problem here. Adding the fact that they were not able to contact the two elders with their jade talismans, after the group of people entered, they saw that there were so few profound being here. All of them were extremely shocked and quickly searched, yet they could not find anything. Chen Xiang was already familiar with the road, and quickly left the underground palace. After reaching the deep pit above, the people outside were also blocked by a group of experts, but Chen Xiang easily said through them. He could not destroy this place now, but he would definitely remember this matter. In the future, he would come again, and he also had to figure out who exactly this Ice Emperor was, to actually be able to put in effort to set up this underground palace. He also searched everywhere for profound Bing S in order to revive him. In short, in Chen Xiang's opinion, the Ice Emperor was not a good person because he was mixed in with the Fire Divine Palace. In order to make things smooth, Chen Xiang did not stop at all and continued to fly for several days and nights, leaving that underground palace behind without any restraint. This trip also allowed him to have a deeper understanding of the hidden strength in the Fire Divine Palace, and he needed to quickly inform LV Qinlian of this so that he would have an eye for the Fire Divine Palace. Chen Xiang kept having the feeling that there might be immortal king-level experts in the Fire Divine Palace. Chen Xiang made a trip to the profound cold ancient realm. Although he did not enter any very dangerous depths, he had profited greatly, and the profound being he obtained was probably the sum of the hard work of many great forces over many years. There was a total of 3,700 pieces, so he was not in a hurry to open them. Chen Xiang made a trip to the profound cold ancient realm. Although he did not enter any very dangerous depths, he had profited greatly, and the profound being he obtained was probably the sum of the hard work of many great forces over many years. There was a total of 3,700 pieces, so he was not in a hurry to open them. He returned to the northern demon city, and then with that appearance, he came to the Sky Demon Pavilion. The charming demoness there welcomed him enthusiastically, yet LV Qinlian still hadn't returned. When he had previously been heading towards that underground palace, he had heard that LV Qinlian had been plagued by some troublesome matters. He was very curious about what had caused LV Qinlian, the demon empress, to go there for such a long time. Chen Xiang was a distinguished guest here. He had called for the female owner of the Sky Demon Pavilion, a mature and attractive demoness. "Where did your big sister go? Why hasn't she come back yet?" Chen Xiang was in a hurry to go to Demon Charming AAS Association to help LV Qinlian look at the profound being. She went to take care of things. She should have mentioned to you that the sparite vein of our Demon Charming AAS Association was taken away by someone else. The woman replied very gently. "Where is that mine? I'll go find her and maybe I can help her. She's already so strong, and she's been working on it for so long. The ones who took over your mind shouldn't be weak, right?" Chen Xiang said. "Yes, that group of people are very strong. Even now, we still don't know where they came from. Young master, I can tell you where Big Sis is now. If you have something urgent, you can go look for her." Some of the spirit demons here called LV Qinlian King, while some even called her elder sister. In short, LV Qinlian did not have much prestige in the Demon Charming AAS Association, even if it was outsiders. Furthermore, LV Qinlian's personality was very gentle, and he looked very amiable and approachable. Hence, the spirit demons in the Demon Charming AAS Association got along well with her. After Chen Xiang found out the location from the shopkeeper, he immediately rushed over. He wanted to ask LV Qinlian if he knew about the Ice Emperor, and he also wanted to see who the guy who dared to provoke the Demon Charming AAS Association was, to actually be able to stall LV Qinlian for so long. The sparite vein was inside the demon realm, but it was very close to the human realm and belonged to the border region of the demon realm. After Chen Xiang stepped into the demon realm, he said by a large expanse of ice mountains that were covered in ice and snow, and he saw a rolling black cloud in the distance above him. Although they had seen it from afar, they could tell that the battle was extremely intense. LV Qinlian was controlled by the Demon Charming AAS Association, and she had already transferred most of the Heaven Realm's power to Dtian. Although she was called the Demon Empress, there were even more people who called her the Poison King on Dtian. Therefore, Chen Xiang was extremely shocked. Furthermore, he guessed that the person who was fighting LV Qinlian should be able to suppress LV Qinlian's poison and have the same strength as him, otherwise it wouldn't be like this. This caused Chen Xiang to be secretly worried in his heart. He originally thought that other than the White Tiger and LV Qinlian, there was no one else with great strength that could compare to LV Qinlian in Dtian, but now such a strong guy suddenly appeared. Furthermore, it seems that he was stronger than LV Qinlian. Previously, Chen Xiang had mentioned to the owner of the Sky Demon Pavilion that the person who suddenly appeared to seize the Demon Charming AAS Association's sparite vein had a mysterious background. Thinking of this, Chen Xiang became even more worried. No wonder this power dared to take over Demon Charming AAS Association's sparite vein. So it turns out that they had a powerful rancor supporting them, and they seemed to be doing it on purpose to steal it and provoke the Demon Charming AAS Association. Could it be that it was to lure LV Qinlian out? Could already see that there were many seductive spirit beasts in Demon Charming AAS Association holding on to weapons and fighting with a group of people who were unable to tell whether they were male or female. The people who were fighting with the group of spirit beasts in Demon Charming A.S. Association were also demons, but they were extremely beautiful, with a slim figure and long hair that covered their shoulders, making them difficult to distinguish between males and females. These guys all have the smell of snakes. Don't tell me they're all snake demons, and from their aura, they seem to be ancient foreign species? It's said that these snakes can change their surname to either female or male, depending on the situation, so that they can continue their reproduction and maintain the orthodoxy of their bloodline. Long Shui said in surprise. With just a few steps, Chen Xiang rushed into the battlefield. He formed a palm blade with his hand, using Holy Spirit Qi. He arrived behind a fighting devil snake, aimed his attack at the monster's back, and slashed out with his blade. Chen Xiang used the devil-suppressing holy power on top of its lightning speed and slashed down, causing the snake demon's throat to shatter. At the same time, the female spirit who was fighting the snake demon also pierced through the snake demon's chest. Where's Sister Lian? Is she fighting with a very powerful guy? Chen Xiang hurriedly asked the spirit demon lady. These are all evil snake demons. They came from Evil Snake Mountain. I don't know why such a force suddenly appeared. In short, every 2 or 3 days, these fellows would come out to provoke us. She recognized Chen Xiang, a VIP from the Sky Demon Pavilion. Now that she had come to help, she was naturally very happy, and this VIP was also very strong. Evil Snake Demon, don't you all know how to use poison? Why don't you use poison to deal with them? Chen Xiang punched a serpent demon that was charging towards her from the side. 3 thunderous booms sounded and released 3 layers of devil-subduing method power, causing the snake demon's head to explode into pieces. The female spirit was completely shocked, because the devil-suppressing holy power and devil-subduing method that Chen Xiang used was extremely terrifying. These guys aren't afraid of poison. Even our big sister can't kill these little devil snakes with her most powerful poison. We just need to use the normal method to fight these devil snakes. Many of her sisters were injured. She hoped that Chen Xiang could help the other spirit demon beings. After Chen Xiang asked about the details of the situation, he immediately went to help the spirit demon beings who were trapped in the bitter battle. Although these spirit demons normally used poison, under the situation where they did not use poison, their fighting strength was still extremely strong. The sudden addition of Chen Xiang into the battle made the serpent demons furious, because he had killed one of them with one move. The devil-subduing method that he used was the very terrifying power of these serpent demons. It not only easily dispelled the evil energy in their bodies, it also had the mystical ability to fight against demons, and it could cause huge injuries to them. If combined with the devil-suppressing holy power, as well as the profound meaning of the word suppress, by the holy devil-suppressing seal, Chen Xiang could kill a serpent demon with one slap. He had initially wanted to suppress the demon Charming A.S. Association's female goblin, then kill them all or capture some of them back alive. However, he did not expect that such a perverted person like Chen Xiang would suddenly appear and cause the group of snake demons' plans to be disrupted. Clear thunderclaps sounded out one after another, and the devil snakes were also relatively fewer in number. At this time, the evil woman's aura also became stronger, and since they had more of them, the situation quickly reversed, and the devil snakes were completely suppressed by the evil woman. Although these female demons were all cute and dainty, when they attacked, they were not as slow as they used to be. The long swords danced in the air and blood splattered everywhere. Broken limbs were scattered all over the ground. Very quickly, this group of little devil snakes were completely annihilated, and not far away, there were even stronger snake demon and the evil woman fighting. There were only a few of them, and those devil snakes knew that the little devil snakes that they brought with them were exterminated, and they became furious, immediately calling over Stu. R. Devil Snake, which was roughly at the Nirvana tribulation level. This devil snake was different from the other beautiful devil snake. This devil snake had a distinct male body, a fierce-looking face, a set of stiff black armor, and a huge black blade in his hand. He wildly rushed forward, trampling the corpses of the devil snakes into a pile of meat paste. Chen Xiang stood in front of the group of female demons who were terrified by the application, and said in a deep voice, "Leave this guy to me, do your best to find a safe place to hide. If you two are safe, your big sis can fight with more peace." LV Qinlian was close to these female demons, so she was sure that she was extremely anxious right now. This was the first time they had met such a fellow who was not afraid of poison. I had thought that the spirit demons of the Demon Charming Association were all female. Could it be that all of you are like us, able to turn one of you into a male when you need them? An extremely handsome man with phoenix eyes said with a magnetic voice. I had thought that the spirit demons of the Demon Charming Association were all female. Could it be that all of you are like us, able to turn one of you into a male when you need them? An extremely handsome man with phoenix eyes said with a magnetic voice. This handsome man's palms were pressed tightly against LV Qinlian's jade palms. His palms were actually as beautiful as LV Qinlian's, and they were even more slender and tender. The two demon kings were fighting each other. This was an extremely dangerous action. Evil Snake King, shouldn't you worry about your subordinates now? LV Qinlian's voice was cold, but she secretly heaved a sigh of relief in her heart. Even though she and Evil Snake King were far away, she could still see the situation from afar. She knew that Chen Xiang was here, so with him here, her Demon Charming Association demon would be much safer. If we work together, then Tian will become our world in the future. If we work together, we can steal the resources that Tian has now, and that will allow us to progress further in our strength. But right now, we are only sharing the resources evenly. Don't tell me that you are willing to continue like this, and wait for Tian to return to how he was back then. For the experts of the 9 heavens of Heaven Realm to rush over, there is simply no place for you to speak. Evil Snake King said, a pair of beautiful eyes that could make women jealous filled with enchantment. Let me be your woman. Don't even think about it. Back then, before I transformed into a human, I was almost swallowed by you several times. I don't want to be with someone like you who wants to swallow me at any moment. LV Qinlian shouted in anger. Don't you like men? Then I can become a woman as well. Evil Snake King laughed out loud. Humph. LV Qinlian was secretly anxious. She really wanted to release the bizarre poisonous scent on her body, but no matter how she thought about it, those poisonous scent would not come out. She still could not completely control them. If she used drunk G.O.D. powder S, then she was also worried that Evil Snake King would be able to escape even if she was poisoned. When the time came, they would spread the rumors that she possessed this unique poison, and she would be in even more danger. Actually, I quite admire you. You've already gotten used to using poison. I didn't think that the innate chi in your body would be so powerful. The Evil Snake King said. You should care about your men. LV Qinlian was paying attention to where Chen Xiang was, and the STURDY snake demon that was flying towards Chen Xiang made her feel uneasy. As long as that brat dies, all of your imps will fall into our hands. That is the last resort that I left behind. You and I both know, the reason why we are unable to continue staying in the Heaven Realm is because we do not have much power in the middle levels, and are all small fries. If not for us, who are king-level existences, we would have all been captured by him. Although many of Evil Snake King's subordinates had been killed, he did not feel any heartache at all. This time, you will definitely lose to me. I can already see the fear hidden deep within your eyes. You are worried about your little demoness. You worry too much and you will never be able to progress. The Evil Snake King laughed sinisterly. LV Qinlian shouted coldly, Shut up, the one who will definitely lose is you. When have you ever been able to defeat me, you heartless and heartless fellow? Let alone me, you will never understand the power a group possesses. This is also the reason why Ten Heaven's Supreme Lord could be called Emperor for many years. The one standing in front of Chen Xiang was a STURDY giant who was taller than him. He held a gigantic wolf-teeth club in his hands, and his fierce-looking face was filled with malevolence and killing intent. A pair of eyes that were filled with a strange green light was staring at Chen Xiang. Human, I never thought that you would actually be together with these spirit demons. The spirit demons from Demon Charming Association are beginning to raise men, haha. While laughing, this big fellow swung his staff horizontally. The strength behind it was very terrifying. It caused the SPAC to fluctuate, and it seemed like it was about to split open. The most shocking thing was that this was only the strength of the physical body. The spirit demon girls who were hiding in the distance were all shocked, their hearts full of worry for Chen Xiang. They could tell that the big guy was much stronger than Chen Xiang. That is the evil Snake Mountain Snake General. We do not know how strong this kind of snake general is, but we do know that their bodies are soaked in some evil techniques. Not only their bodies are strong, the evil force in their bodies are also like that. Young Master Shin, you have to be careful. None of them were stupid, they had already figured out Chen Xiang's identity. Only Chen Xiang was able to use the devil-suppressing holy power and control its profoundness. Although he had strong limbs, his brain was not simple at all. He laughed sarcastically. A guy like you should become a woman, you don't have the guts to accept the challenge, you're not even comparable to those female demons. A cyan light flashed in Chen Xiang's palm, and a large cyan SHI plus Ning blade appeared out of nowhere. The blade was surrounded by cyan dragon mist, and as Chen Xiang injected the devil-suppressing holy power, it released a golden mist, accompanied by a weak dragon cry. Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword. Originally, he was relatively calm, but in his heart, there was an unspeakable unease. Originally, he had victory in his grasp, but suddenly a Chen Xiang appeared out of nowhere. You are Chen Xiang. The Snake General looked at the Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword in Chen Xiang's hands and felt an incomparable threat. When the light shone on his body, it was as if flames were burning his body. Chen Xiang sneered. Originally, I only liked using this blade to slay dragons. Seeing that your snake has some power, I will let you die with this blade. The Snake General was furious in his heart. He raised his spiked mace and flew towards Chen Xiang, his speed suddenly increasing. And human, don't think that you can use this blade to kill me. I am not one of those useless soldiers. The snake would let out an earth-shaking roar, allowing him to dispel the fear he had of the Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword. Chen Xiang laughed in his heart. There were many shrimp soldiers and crab generals who died under his blade, but there were also many powerful fellows like the Prince Imperial Dragon. The mace swung wildly, emitting waves of terrifying evil chi. It was as if a demon from Hell was howling miserably. It was absolutely horrifying. Chen Xiang had already revealed his identity and was not concealing his strength at all right now. Taking a step forward, the shrinking step skillfully dodged, and at the same time brandished plus-ing out the divine blade. The devil-suppressing holy power flowed endlessly, charging into the divine blade. Boom, boom, boom. In that instant, an incomparably shocking sound resounded through the horizon, shaking the heavens. The burst of holy light was even brighter than sunlight, causing the sun and moon to lose their luster. The ground had been destroyed to the point that it was full of holes and dust was flying everywhere. But at this time, he could see a very safe and broad-back figure. Following the scattering of the dust, those charming female demon spirits, whose faces were filled with fear, saw that the Snake General's wolf-fanged mace had already exploded into a mess, scattering all over the ground. This snake general's body is so strong, yet it still can't block one of his slashes. Dragon Subduing School's leader is indeed as strong as the rumors say. He is good-looking, and his strength is so strong. Fortunately, we did not make him our enemy and even established a good relations. H.I.+P. with him. Otherwise, the consequences would have been unimaginable. No wonder elder sister treats him so well. So he isn't an ordinary brat. The spirit demon beings behind were all discussing, their eyes flickering with the light of love as they looked at Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang slowly let out a breath of golden mist. Just now, he had used the power of the holy devil-suppressing seal in order to heavily injure the snake general with that blade. He paused for a moment, allowing the innate chi in his body to become much smoother, and immediately traveled through S.P.A.C., arriving in front of the snake general. One of the arms of the snake general was destroyed, but the other was completely undamaged. However, the moment he raised his foot, he was ruthlessly kicked by Chen Xiang. The bottom of his feet was filled with golden devil-suppressing holy power, and upon stepping on it, 10 thunderclaps suddenly sounded out. The power of the devil-subduing method pierced through the thick arm, and was crushed to pieces by Chen Xiang's stomp, as though he was stepping on tree juice. Chen Xiang looked at the roaring snake general indifferently. He kept his green dragon demon-slaying broadsword and said with disdain, "Looks like you are not worthy enough for me to use this blade to kill you?" Finished speaking, Chen Xiang's fist was like cast gold, spitting out power that shook the earth. He punched towards the snake general's head. The snake was about to be killed by Chen Xiang, and the group of female demons were cheering as they ran over, wanting to see Chen Xiang's true appearance at a closer distance. The snake was about to be killed by Chen Xiang, and the group of female demons were cheering as they ran over, wanting to see Chen Xiang's true appearance at a closer distance. "Ladies, all of you leave this place first. This place is currently very dangerous." Chen Xiang looked at the few goblin ladies in the distance. They were all being entangled by a group of powerful snake generals. "Chen Xiang, these serpent demons all came from the sky demon realm. I don't know when they moved to Dtion, but they were very cunning and hid themselves until now. The strongest part of these serpent demons is that they can withstand many strong poisons, but they themselves aren't good at using poison, because they don't have the patience to grow poisonous flowers or poisonous plants, so their goal is to swallow our demon charming association." LV Qinlian whispered to Chen Xiang from very far away, allowing him to understand the origins of these devil snakes. Perhaps it would be of some help to him. If it was a demon, even if their strength was stronger than Chen Xiang by a few levels, as long as Chen Xiang used his full strength, he would be able to shake him. Right now, he was holding onto the heavy green dragon demon-slaying broadsword, and was sprinting towards another battlefield in the distance. If it was a worldly immortal, Chen Xiang might not dare to rush over like that, but if it was a demon or demon immortal, with his cultivation of devil-suppressing holy power and the demon-subduing martial arts, coupled with holy devil-suppressing seal and green dragon demon-slaying broadsword, these special tools to restrain demons, he would be able to fight with them. The fighting devil snakes had already sensed a surge of energy that was extremely dangerous to them. Earlier, they felt that this wave of energy was still far away, but the speed at which it was moving was so terrifying that it caused them to tremble in fear. Demon Charming Association's Banshee Immortals also felt the strong sense of threat, but the aura of the power was not directed at them. Furthermore, they already knew that someone was helping them, but they did not care who. "He's coming!" A serpent demon shouted in shock, because Chen Xiang had suddenly appeared. Just a moment ago, he was still far away, but in the blink of an eye he had arrived in front of them. They came, just as these two words were shouted out. A green arc of blade light appeared, slanting towards the back of one of the devil snakes. Although the devil snakes was not cut into two, the cut on its back was very deep. The bones on its back were almost cut, and the two halves only had a thin layer of flesh and skin connecting them. Adding the devil-suppressing holy power, Even if the serpent demon didn't die, it was already extremely uncomfortable. That kind of power was like burning his soul, and his body was even tormented by that kind of power until it felt like it was in a blazing furnace. Chen Xiang's arrival had pleasantly surprised the female demons of Demon Charming Association, but those serpent demons were filled with anger and fear, especially the green dragon demon-slain broadsword that was radiating holy light. They hated and feared the aura that was being released. Swoosh! A banshee immortal thrusted her sword out like lightning, piercing into the body of the snake demon that was just hacked by Chen Xiang, directly piercing through the snake demon's beast core. This D.A.M. Nable fellow, everyone attack him together. Let's kill him first, otherwise we'll all die. A charming snake demon gritted his teeth and shouted. You won't succeed. One of the Demon Charming Association's female demons shouted coldly. Sisters, don't let them hurt young Master Shin, you have to hold them back. There were 7 serpents and 5 female immortals. Therefore, it had been extremely strenuous for them. Some of the female immortals had shocking injuries on their bodies, causing their hearts to ache. They were even aiming at Chen Xiang. Looking at their aggressive appearance, it was as if they were planning to use all their strength to break through the defenses of the Banshee Immortals and then kill Chen Xiang together. Holy Dragon's Bind! Chen Xiang said in his heart, and a burst of golden light suddenly appeared on the ground. Just as the snakes stepped into the golden ground, they saw that a golden holy dragon had come out from the ground and wrapped itself around the legs of the snakes, causing them all to stop moving. It has to be said that after Chen Xiang refined the Prince Imperial Dragon into a holy dragon pellet, he ate that holy dragon pellet and allowed him to wield the power of the holy dragon. This kind of power was the same as the devil-suppressing holy power. It was extremely destructive towards demons. But if he had to deal with snakes, the power of the holy dragon would be even more powerful, because snakes were even more afraid of dragons. All of a sudden, she was entangled with this holy force that carried a dense dragon aura, causing all the devil heart snakes to be extremely terrified. The female immortal from the Demon Charming Association was originally prepared to die together with the snake demons, but they did not expect Chen Xiang to have such a plan, causing them to be overjoyed. Their killing intent became even stronger. The 5 slim and beautiful female demons were emitting a strong killing intent as they arrived beside the serpent demons. They swung their swords and pierced fiercely, causing blood to spurt out of the serpent demons' bodies. The blood blossomed and danced with the elegant and graceful sword wielded by the fairy, causing the scene to be extremely beautiful but also extremely bloody, which was so strange that it caused one's heart to tremble. It had to be said that these devil snakes were extremely powerful. Although they couldn't move, they used all their strength to protect their vital parts. Although there were many bloody holes on their bodies, they were still alive. However, when they saw Chen Xiang, who was standing not too far away, suddenly walking over, their expressions became even uglier. They could already see the divine blade in Chen Xiang's hand killing them. The holy dragon's binding could not hold on for long, and the devil snakes still had a powerful force in them. While protecting themselves, they resisted the force that was binding them under their feet. 3 of the Banshee Immortals seemed to connect their hearts together. As the devil snakes broke free from their bindings, they thrust out their swords, piercing through the defense of the devil snakes, and even the heavenly core of the devil snakes. At this moment, the devil snake sect was riddled with injuries and had no desire to fight. They only wanted to escape, but the Banshee Immortal would not let them escape so easily. Chen Xiang did not dare to use his devil-suppressing holy power on a large area, as he was worried that he would harm the female demons. Now that the situation had been completely reversed, he did not need to use any more strength. Weren't you planning to kill me just now? Why are you running now? Chen Xiang took a step forward, teleporting through space until he arrived in front of the female serpent demon. his thighs condensed with vigorous devil-suppressing holy power. He swung his leg towards the female serpent demon's face. What was most shocking was that when Chen Xiang's leg landed on the female serpent demon's face, it caused several thunderous booms to ring out. The snake demon cried out miserably as she was sent flying. Coincidentally, there was a demon charming association fairy waiting there. When she flew over, she swung her sword and struck down, breaking the snake demon's waist and even SMA's plussing the heaven pill on her feet. As the number of devil snakes decreased, the immortal banshees grew more and more imposing, and soon, another 2 devil snakes were killed. Used the shrinking step to quickly swim around the battlefield, and from time to time, he would attack the serpent demons, SLAs. Plussing across the mountain, kicking on the ground and punching on the ground, breaking the defensive capabilities of the serpent demons, while the female demons always worked together with Chen Xiang to eliminate the serpent demons after Chen Xiang attacked the serpent demons. After a while, the ground was filled with the remnants of the snake demons. Chen Xiang released a flame and burned the BLOODY things on the ground. Although the female demons were injured, it did not affect their charm. Right now, all of their faces were full of flirtatious smiles as they shot glances at Chen Xiang. 2 of them even ran over to ask if Chen Xiang was injured. What kind of deal does this Chen Xiang have with you two to actually stand up for you two? As far as I know, this kid does not lack women. Evil Snake King's face became ugly. All the subordinates that he brought with him had all died, although he did not care on the surface, but his heart was in pain, because they were the elites of Evil Snake Mountain. LV Qinlian laughed out loud. You will never know what a friend is. Chen Xiang is my friend, so he will naturally help me, and he doesn't need anything in return. If he has any difficulties, I will also do my best to help him. Humph, don't be arrogant. Do you think that I only have a little bit of strength? Do you think that I would not hesitate to use dove force in such a dangerous manner in order to stall you? Evil Snake King channeled the dense demonic energy in his body, causing his palm to turn red all of a sudden, and released traces of red mist. At this moment, LV Qinlian's jade palm was close to Evil Snake King's palm, and she felt a power that felt like a vast ocean pounding against it. She was extremely shocked. What Evil Snake King said was true. The demonic energy was far above her, causing her expression to turn serious again. At this moment, LV Qinlian's jade palm was close to Evil Snake King's palm, and she felt a power that felt like a vast ocean pounding against it. She was extremely shocked. What Evil Snake King said was true. The demonic energy was far above her, causing her expression to turn serious again. If he were to withdraw his palm now, LV Qinlian would definitely be severely injured by the dense power released from the Evil Snake King. If it was serious, he could even kill her with it, at least because the spirit demon core was damaged or if her meridians were severely injured. LV Qinlian's cultivation was not weak either. She could also severely injure the Evil Snake King. Thus, in the end, both of them would suffer, unless the 2 of them stopped their cultivation at the same time, but at the moment it seemed that it was impossible. Chen Xiang was currently surrounded by a few female demons, chattering away silently. Sisters, all of you heal your wounds first. I'm going to help your big sister. Chen Xiang had only eaten a qi shindan, allowing himself to recover the energy that he had lost earlier. This young Master Shen, that Evil Snake King is so powerful, you better not go. Our big sister can handle it. We are worried that you will be affected. When she looked at Chen Xiang, her coquettish eyes seemed to be dripping with water. Furthermore, she had even held on to Chen Xiang's big hand and caressed him gently, causing Chen Xiang's heart to waver. Although the spirit demons of the demon charming association were not really close to men, once they got close to him, they would definitely be extremely cyanate, as if they wanted to swallow him whole. This was the situation Chen Xiang was in right now. They're right. If you come here, you're just looking to die. But I usually like to send people to their death." Then, an extremely evil force surged over. Although they could not see the evil force, Chun Xiang and the others felt as if they were standing on the S8or E of a ocean, looking at the frightening waves that were crazily surging towards them. Without even thinking, he knew who the person who released this power was. It was the evil Snake King. Chun Xiang bellowed. He took out the holy devil-suppressing seal and had it form a golden SHI plus ELD of light above him, enveloping him and the female demons. Just as the golden barrier of light appeared, the evil force immediately rushed over, like a gigantic and transparent shovel, lifting up a thick layer of the ground. If not for the protection of the holy devil-suppressing seal, Chun Xiang and the rest would have been blown away along with the soil, and would have been injured by the evil spirit Qi. "You guys leave this place first, I'll block this guy." Chun Xiang looked at the handsome man who was standing in the sky. It had to be said that even the Banshee immortals beside Chun Xiang were a little jealous of his face. "Hurry up and leave." Chun Xiang pushed the few ladies by his side, his voice becoming extremely serious. "This is not him. It's just a clone of him, but its strength is very strong. All of you are injured, and after using up a bit of strength, you guys cannot continue fighting with this guy." The 5 Banshee immortals softly muttered a few words to each other, then quickly left to find the other demonic spirits to meet up with them. "Don't even think about leaving. My people are all dead. You can't live on either." Evil Snake King extended her slender hand, her palm facing the Banshee immortals that had already flown far away. Then, a ray of grayish-black evil light shot out from her palm. Just at that moment, Chun Xiang shuttled through SPAC, took out the holy devil-suppressing seal, and used the seal to face evil Snake King's avatar. The evil light shot over, and became extremely huge, condensing a terrifying evil energy that shook the earth. Chun Xiang felt the holy devil-suppressing seal more and more. He originally thought that this holy devil-suppressing seal was just some kind of seal or something similar, but the power to restrain demons Serpa said that of the green dragon demon-slain broadsword. No wonder. So it's a holy devil-suppressing seal. Why is the devil-suppressing heavenly venerable's destiny seal in your hands? If I let the people from devil-suppressing divine palace find out, you would have been torn apart by them when you went to heaven realm. Before, evil Snake King had a relaxed expression. She thought that her clone could easily kill Chun Xiang, but after seeing this holy devil-suppressing seal, her face had a never-before-seen grave expression. This evil Snake King was truly powerful. While fighting with LV Qinlian, he could even use a supreme secret technique to split up his clones to deal with Chun Xiang and the others. Furthermore, he was very strong, so Chun Xiang wasn't confident that he could defeat his clones, unless he could borrow Long Xue's strength. "Although this is my doppelganger, it is enough to deal with you. Although you have Green Dragon Demon-slain Broadsword S and Holy Devil-suppressing Seal S, you can only bring out a small part of the power of these 2 divine weapons." Evil Snake King opened his mouth and spat out a ray of red light that looked like a snake or apricot towards Chun Xiang's throat. When Chun Xiang saw this, he immediately used his holy devil-suppressing seal to block in front of him. However, what he did not expect was that this frightening red light that was like a snake's apricot could actually penetrate SPAC and avoid the holy devil-suppressing seal's holy light, directly piercing through and appearing in front of his throat. Just as the snake apricot was about to pierce Chun Xiang's throat, a layer of flaming red scales suddenly appeared on Chun Xiang's throat. This was a dragon's scale. It looked like a burning red ruby, and it flickered with lightning as it blocked the vicious snake apricot. Chun Xiang's martial spirit was the fire thunder dragon soul. It had the nature of fire and lightning, but because his martial spirit had not fully matured, it had not become a 5 elements dragon soul, so he rarely used it. The thing that shot out from Evil Snake King's mouth was really his snake apricot, but it was extremely powerful, its speed was like light, and it could even penetrate SPAC. No wonder he was so confident in killing Qin Xiang. Do you want me to take action? Long Shui asked. She was a white dragon, and was as powerful as a holy dragon in the Imperial Dragon Clan. Furthermore, she had a lot of inherited memories. Not for now. I destroyed his avatar and also killed his original body. If I borrow your power, once I'm done, I'll have to lie in bed for a while to recover. Qin Xiang said anxiously, but at the same time, the snake apricot shot out once again. Qin Xiang was already a special character of snake apricot, so he immediately used the power of the spatial laws to strengthen the SPAC in front of the holy devil suppressing seal, preventing the snake apricot from penetrating through the SPAC. As a result, when the snake apricot hit the holy devil suppressing seal, it was like a burning red iron plate that was burned, causing Evil Snake King's handsome face to turn sinister. When I attack and kill him in one go, those fellows who look down on me will not have a good ending. Qin Xiang clenched his fists tightly. His eyes suddenly became as deep as the ocean, and a map of the mountains and rivers suddenly appeared behind him. On his head was a star map, and below his feet was a giant elephant. It was as tall as a mountain. The most shocking thing was that it was constantly emitting killing intent. That killing intent enveloped the entire Sparite vein, making people feel like this was an ancient battlefield filled with endless killing intent and death aura. Qin Xiang's killing heart crazily throbbed, and with a putong sound, the murderous aura continuously released a wave of killing intent, causing the sky to change color. Everything is destroyed. The mountain, sea, and river diagram on Qin Xiang's back, the great void constellation diagram above his head, and the gigantic deity image below his feet, suddenly turned into a bright red light and merged into one with Qin Xiang. Qin Xiang held the green dragon demon-slain broadsword. It merged with the green dragon demon-slain broadsword, and with a force that could destroy the heavens and the earth, he slashed at the Evil Snake King's clone in the distance. Slash. H. Plus, Qin Xiang roared, the divine blade slashed, the sky shook, SPAC ruptured, the Evil Snake King's clone could not move at that moment. He was already completely engulfed by Qin Xiang's killing intent and was locked onto by it. He only had one outcome, and that was death. Boom. The blade light enveloped the ground. With a rumbling sound, Evil Snake King's body was struck by the unparalleled killing intent, accompanied by the powerful devil-suppressing holy power. His soul was also attacked by the extremely strong God slaying art. The avatar's soul disappeared, its flesh was destroyed, and it was burnt to ashes by the last bit of force. Since ancient times, evil has never been righteous. Demons are demons. Qin Xiang heaved a sigh of relief. His face looked somewhat haggard. He anxiously swallowed a few Qi Shin Dan S. That was his full force attack just now. The energy consumption was huge. When the Evil Snake King's clone was destroyed, the original body was also affected greatly. At this moment, his face was extremely ugly, causing LV Qinlian to be secretly happy, because she had the chance to get out of this predicament, but suddenly, she caught a glimpse of the sinister look that flashed past Evil Snake King's eyes, causing her heart to immediately tremble. When the Evil Snake King's clone was destroyed, the original body was also affected greatly. At this moment, his face was extremely ugly, causing LV Qinlian to be secretly happy, because she had the chance to get out of this predicament, but suddenly, she caught a glimpse of the sinister look that flashed past Evil Snake King's eyes, causing her heart to immediately tremble. Ha ha ha! Evil Snake King's handsome face suddenly contorted, and he laughed sinisterly. Don't expect to knock me down like this. Go to HEL, LBITC. Both of Evil Snake King's eyes were suddenly filled with blood-red light waves. He looked extremely terrifying as he laughed crazily and maliciously. his slender arms suddenly becoming obese, with his sleeves swollen to the point where it revealed a black arm full of scales. When LV Chinlian saw the look in Evil Snake King's eyes earlier, he had already known that Evil Snake King intended to perish together with her. Boom! A loud explosion sounded suddenly. The intense sound wave split the ground, and the layer of smoke that was shrouding the entire area should not be blown away. The red light shot out, and then an Evil Snake King slowly descended onto the ground. They did not die, but blood leaked out of their mouths, their faces were pale white. It was obvious that they suffered heavy internal injuries. Chen Xiang used the power of the spatial laws to the limit, traveled a large distance, and arrived at the place where the Evil Snake King and LV Chinlian had landed. The moment Evil Snake King touched the ground, Chen Xiang suddenly appeared. The Holy Devil-suppressing seal and the Green Dragon Demon-slaying broadsword had fused together, and the devil-suppressing holy power was being used to the extreme by Chen Xiang, so the moment he appeared, he fiercely slashed down at the Evil Snake King with his blade. The blade glow was 30,000 meters long, and the killing intent was intermittent. Even LV Chinlian, who was at the side, felt the incomparably powerful strength concealed within Chen Xiang, making her feel as if she was facing the mysterious Great Elder of the Dragon Subduing School. Chen Xiang's sudden arrival and sudden attack were completely unexpected to Evil Snake King. He predicted that Chen Xiang would definitely rush over, but he never expected that Chen Xiang would actually be so fast. Although Evil Snake King was heavily injured, a skinny camel was still bigger than a horse. His body instinctively moved to dodge, which was a type of instinctive power that he mulat through his years of fighting. Ah! Evil Snake King cried out in pain. Even though he dodged, his shoulder was still cut by Chen Xiang's blade, and half of his body, along with his entire arm, had been cut off by Chen Xiang. Just you wait, Evil Snake Mountain will not let you off. The Evil Snake King's sinister and resentful voice echoed in the horizon layer by layer, and when Chen Xiang made his second slash, his body had already turned into a layer of black mist, which then seeped into the ground and disappeared. What a shame! Such a good chance for him to run away. At this moment, her face was completely pale. However, there was a holy lotus seed in her body, which allowed her to recover her injuries by absorbing the power inside the holy lotus seed. However, when Chen Xiang helped her up now, he could feel that her body was extremely cold. I've been poisoned. LV Chinlian, who had just stood up, immediately fell into Chen Xiang's embrace after saying that. Chen Xiang held her tightly and immediately released a warm fire qi to help LV Chinlian expel the poison. At this time, Chen Xiang felt more and more that the delicate body that was being embraced by her was releasing an oppressive cold aura. He looked at LV Chinlian, who had an ugly expression, and hastily asked, "Sister Lian, what poison are you infected with? Why are you so powerful that even you cannot withstand it?" "I've been severely injured, and I don't have the power to expel the poison." LV Chinlian tightly hugged Chen Xiang's warm and dy body and slowly closed his eyes, as though he could not hold on much longer. Chen Xiang was extremely anxious. He immediately cut open his wrist and let out a bit of blood, which entered into LV Chinlian's mouth. Although his blood could not be detoxified by Quan, but he could still resist the poison's invasion. He carried LV Chinlian and left the Sparite Vein S, who were full of scars, arriving in a quiet mountain forest. LV Chinlian's complexion had improved a lot, but the cold poison in her body was still wreaking havoc in her body. It's the profound Han poison. I never thought that this evil Snake King would have this kind of poison, and that they would even completely infuse it into my body at the last moment. It signaled that the profound Han poison is the weakest kind of super old poison, otherwise I would have died a long time ago. LV Chinlian was able to speak now, and she was still lying in Chen Xiang's embrace. Because the anger Chen Xiang had released made her feel very comfortable, and she didn't want to leave. Seeing that LV Qinlian had woken up, Chen Xiang could still speak. He let out a light breath and said, Sister Lian, you scared me to death. How are your injuries? LV Qinlian stuck her face on Chen Xiang's chest. It was her first time being in such close contact with a man. Moreover, it was when she was at her weakest and when she needed help the most. She, who was cold all over, did not want to leave Chen Xiang's embrace at all, and only wanted to be hugged by him forever. My internal injuries are very serious. My beast core is damaged, but I have the holy lotus seed in my body. I can absorb the power of the holy lotus seed and quickly stabilize my injuries. Although LV Qinlian was heavily injured and poisoned, lying in Chen Xiang's embrace, his heart throbbed inexplicably, giving him a strange feeling that was hard to describe. Then take a good rest, Sister Lian. Why did that evil Snake King suddenly appear? Chen Xiang felt that LV Qinlian was hugging him tightly, and was even rubbing against his body from time to time. This made him feel a strange feeling in his heart. LV Qinlian felt that Chen Xiang's hand was gently stroking her hair and was stunned for a moment. Then, he said quietly, I think it's the people from Demon Realm and Devil Realm who are trying to provoke him to come out to weaken my strength. Although he is a snake demon, he is still using power from the Heaven Demon world. Currently, he is at DTon's side. He definitely has a good relations. HI+P with the Devil Realm, because the demon charming A.S. Association is the best at fighting against the evil Snake Mountain. They are not afraid of our poison. Sister Lian, he used the Profound Being's evil poison, since it's one of the super old poison. If we were to spread the word, will his situation be very dangerous? Chen Xiang touched LV Qinlian's beautiful face. It was not as cold as before. LV Qinlian nodded and said, I will definitely reveal this matter. As long as this matter gets out, regardless of whether others believe it or not, I will still be wary of the evil Snake King. Of course, if it's the Heaven Realm, as long as I appear and let others see the Profound Being's evil poison that I speak of, the evil Snake King will definitely be hunted. Sister Lian, that Xiao Yao over there, he's that little demon. Chen Xiang looked at the flower on LV Qinlian's hairpin, and did not sense the aura of the spirit demon at all. She's in me. Inside my spirit demon core is a lotus flower. Xiao Yao is sleeping inside. LV Qinlian chuckled. I was already like this, but I still wasn't able to wake the little girl up. Speaking of Xiao Yao, the little demon, Chen Xiang thought of those primordial Profound Bings. He had just obtained a large number of Profound Bing from a warehouse set up by the Fire Divine Palace in Profound Cold Ancient Realm, and he even knew about the dirty deeds that the Fire Divine Palace had done in the Profound Cold Ancient Realm. Chen Xiang told this to LV Qinlian, causing him to frown. No wonder when my demon charming A.S. Association's spirit demon goes to Profound Cold Ancient Realm, he would meet some fellows from Fire Divine Palace. However, our spirit demon wasn't attacked. Could it be that Fire Divine Palace is afraid of the poison of those spirit demons? Anyways, this matter must definitely be spread. We cannot let Fire Divine Palace continue like this. That's right, the reason why Fire Divine Palace does this seems to be to revive a guy called Ice Emperor. Just as Chen Xiang spoke of Ice Emperor, the frail beauty in his arms suddenly trembled. LV Qinlian widened his beautiful, soul-stirring eyes and looked at Chen Xiang with a face full of shock. You are talking about the Ice Emperor. I have heard of him before. He is a very impressive person. I never thought that he could be revived. Please do not let him come back to life. LV Qinlian looked at the sky and fell into deep thought. The Ice Emperor was a very amazing person, but why couldn't he revive them? With DTon in this kind of terrible situation, he needed a strong, capable person to intimidate the entire DTon and maintain order in the DTon. Chen Xiang caressed his face that was as beautiful as jade with LV Qinlian, and asked softly, Sister Lian, what kind of background does Ice Emperor have, can you tell me? Many people in the current Dtion had heard of the matters regarding the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. However, the detailed history of the time when the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord fell, and what happened after that, very few people knew that. After the fall of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord, many things happened. Many people in the current Dtion had heard of the matters regarding the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. However, the detailed history of the time when the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord fell, and what happened after that, very few people knew that. After the fall of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord, many things happened. Although Dtion had been reborn, it did not mean that he would continue to live. Perhaps he would end up like the past, shattering once again and turning into a low-level little world. LV Qinlian held Chen Xiang's big hand and gently rubbed it, feeling the warmth from the hand. She who was immersed in her memories, looked far away and said, 9th heaven and 10 great earth. In those 9 days there were already 9 emperors. They were known to be the kings of the land and the skies. Rumor has it that this was the history of those 9 emperors and the 10 kings of the 9 emperors. However, after the appearance of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord and the unification of the 9 heavens and 10 earth, as well as the establishment of Dtion, the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord still retained the authority of the 9 Emperor 10 Kings and let the 9 Emperor 10 Kings manage their respective territories. So that's how it is. What exactly is the hidden meaning of that piece of history? That's why it didn't come down. Chen Xiang was very suspicious. LV Qinlian caressed Chen Xiang's handsome face with her somewhat ice-cold jade hand and said, I'm not sure, because I only know a few insignificant things. Carrying on with the matter of the Ice Emperor, you should be able to guess right now. The Ice Emperor is one of the emperors among the 10 kings of the 9 heavens and is in charge of the Ice Heaven. The reason I call him a figure is also because I've heard about him. In short, back then the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord wanted to have a good order, and those who made him their enemy were mostly those who wanted to break the rules. And among the 10 emperors of the 9 Emperor Empire, the strength of those emperors were not weak. It is normal for them to want to defeat the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord and obtain the position of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. LV Qinlian paused for a moment before continuing, therefore, I feel that the Ice Emperor is not a good person. If he is allowed to revive, then Dtion will be in great danger. Chen Xiang naturally understood, but he now felt that it was very strange that there was any connection between profound cold ancient realm and him. Ice Emperor could use those profound beings to revive, and Ice Emperor appearing in profound cold ancient realm was clearly not a coincidence. Moreover, the hidden dangers of profound cold ancient realm were things that could only be touched by people like the White Tiger and 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. It could be seen how mysterious profound cold ancient realm was. Chen Xiang did not want to take any risks right now, because for someone with his strength, going to profound cold ancient realm was simply courting death. Sister Lian, rest well. I will carry you to sleep tonight. Don't let out that poisonous scent. Chen Xiang said smilingly as he looked at LV Qinlian's better complexion. LV Qinlian pouted playfully, urged Chen Xiang on his chest, and shrunk into Chen Xiang's embrace. She closed her eyes and stabilized her injuries with the help of the holy lotus seed in her body. Chen Xiang looked at the goblin beauty in his arms as he sighed in his heart. If it was before, many forces would take advantage of Demon Charming A.'s association and not dare to go against him, but it was different now. LV Qinlian from Demon Charming A.'s association was severely injured, and he would not be able to recover to his peak condition in a short while. At night, the insects in the forest chirped, and with the help of the breeze, LV Qinlian slept even better. Chen Xiang carried her, and stared unblinkingly at her beautiful face, suddenly wanting to go over to her cherry-red lips, but he didn't dare do so. If LV Qinlian were to release those poisonous scents, he would be in trouble. This poison beauty's entire body is covered with thorns, sigh. Chen Xiang sighed, but he still kept stroking his face that was able to cause people's divine soul to turn upside down. Chen Xiang raised his head and looked at the stars in the sky through the gaps between the leaves and thought to himself, "This is a new world, so it should be us newcomers challenging it. It seems like this is already destined to happen." LV Qinlian could be considered a completely old person here, as he could be said to have broken the balance of this new era. This made Chen Xiang feel that it was possible that this was deliberately arranged by someone, which caused the evil Snake King, who was hiding in the shadows of Dtian, to be subjected to this kind of thing. The evil Snake King was definitely in a tough spot, and he was definitely heavily injured. As for whether or not there were any other powerful existences in the new Dtian, it was unknown, but Chen Xiang had to prepare in this regard. On the second day, when LV Qinlian woke up, her body was no longer cold, but the profound Han poison in her body had not been completely expelled. This profound Han poison was not the type to immediately cause her death, however, at that time when Chen Xiang had not used his own blood to help LV Qinlian, coupled with the fact that LV Qinlian had a certain resistance to poisons, she would have been poisoned to death by the cold poison long ago. Although LV Qinlian looked fine now, the cold poison in her body made it impossible for her to unleash a strong power. When she used her poison to attack, she needed a very strong power to inject the poison into the enemy's body. After LV Qinlian recovered, her delicate and refined face revealed a smile that she never had before. Her pair of beautiful eyes revealed a strange luster, and she looked like she liked to be more lively and gentle than before. At this time, Chen Xiang's heart was heavy. Without the demon charming association, he had to come up with many new plans to protect the dragon-subduing city or ally with the Chen martial continent. Seeing his expression, LV Qinlian immediately pouted and said, "Little guy, big sis is so energetic, why are you so unhappy?" Chen Xiang came back to reality and smiled at her. "Of course, because I can't carry you anymore. I really want to hug you like that every day." LV Qinlian said in a tender voice, "Little scoundrel, you're being dishonest again. Don't tell me you forgot about the matter of the poisonous scent I carried last time." Although she said this, she was smiling inside. "I would be willing to be poisoned to death." Chen Xiang laughed shamelessly. "Heh heh." LV Qinlian lovingly snorted a few times, before sighing softly. "Chen Xiang, I promised to help you protect the Chen martial continent, but now, I'm so sorry." LV Qinlian felt extremely guilty. She had done what Chen Xiang had done to her, but now it had become like this, making her hated herself for being too weak to fight against the evil Snake King, resulting in this situation. "Don't mind it." Chen Xiang didn't blame LV Qinlian in the slightest. He said in a serious tone, "Sister Lian, don't feel guilty. If you feel that you owe me a lot, promise me one thing." Seeing Chen Xiang being so serious, LV Qinlian asked anxiously, "What's the matter?" "That is to have the demon charming association withdraw from Dtian's dispute. I feel that this place is not suitable for you all for now." LV Qinlian was very smart, and would very soon find out Chen Xiang's thoughts. She let out a light sigh and suddenly nodded. "I'll listen to you." Chen Xiang and LV Qinlian found those fae and fairies who came with them. Since Chen Xiang didn't have any other urgent matters at the moment, he started to speak amicably with those fairies in front of LV Qinlian. What made LV Qinlian grind his teeth in anger was that, not only did Chen Xiang use his words to tease these spirit demon beings, he even made his move. He either rubbed his thighs, or rubbed his chest, or pinched his cheeks, and that group of spirit demons was very happy. Once news of LV Qinlian's heavy injuries got out, the spirit demon beings of the demon charming association would probably be in big trouble, so LV Qinlian immediately gathered the spirit demons of other places and transferred all the businesses back to the demon charming association. Originally, she wanted to give it to Chen Xiang, but Chen Xiang didn't. In just 10 short days, all of the spirit demons of the demon charming association in various places of Dtion had disappeared. The rumors about LV Qinlian and the great battle of the evil Snake King spread out. Of course, the fact that the evil Snake King had profound Han poison was also known by many. Now, many great powers had adjusted their original plans. Because the Chun martial continent had lost the protection of the demon charming association, those powers who had always regarded the Chun martial continent as their thorn were all ready to make a move. The reason why the Chun martial continent was so important was because the Chun martial continent might very well become the center of new imperial heaven world. This meant that there was a high chance that new dragon veins would appear in the Chun martial continent, something many old fellows of the heaven realm had predicted. Of course, right now they were not foolish enough to have any powers immediately attack Chun martial continent, because no one was sure if the demon charming association would really stop protecting the Chun martial continent. Moreover, who didn't know the relations Hi+P between Qin Xiang and the Qin martial continent, and that this young brat was the nightmare of many old fellows, who would dare to provoke him. Although it was the dragon subduing school, if someone offended him, that person would not be reduced. They would be exterminated, abused, and slaughtered. Evil Snake King did not die, so he would make a comeback in the future. However, Chun Xiang was really looking forward to that moment. He was confident that if there was a day he could definitely kill the Evil Snake King's main body. Evil Snake King did not die, so he would make a comeback in the future. However, Chun Xiang was really looking forward to that moment. He was confident that if there was a day he could definitely kill the Evil Snake King's main body. More than 10 days had passed since Chun Xiang helped the demon charming association. He was in a very secretive place, using the Chaos Divine Eye to look through the primordial profound being that he snatched from the underground palace. He had looked at more than 100 pieces consecutively, but he did not find anything inside. Although the special cold power released by the profound being was extremely strong, from their outer appearance, they were all top-grade items. If he were to auction them, he was sure that they would fetch a high price. What the f***ck? There's already more than 1,000 pieces of archaic profound being, not even a single one is inside. Chun Xiang laid on his back on the ground, rubbing the opened Chaos Divine Eye between his brows with both hands. At this moment, he was in the belly of a mountain, his face full of fatigue. After looking carefully at so many profound beings for more than 10 days in a row, it was impossible for him to not be tired. These profound beings all looked very good, but there were more than 1,000 of them now, and there was nothing inside, which made Chun Xiang extremely disappointed. Of course, he could sell these profound beings or give them to him to use as profound being pills, as the value of using them was still very high. The last time I entered those underground palaces, I heard those guys mention that the profound being would. Maybe when the time came I would be able to get profound being with treasures. Chun Xiang suddenly thought of this matter, and the profound being conference was about to begin. He did not continue to look at the remaining 2,000 profound being, that would take too much time. If he finished, he would not be able to partake. 1. P8 in the profound being conference. I still have 2 treasure chests. When I have time, I will think of a way to replenish the energy in the Ice Dragon Sword's sheath and open those 2 treasure chests. Chun Xiang had always been thinking about the 2 treasure chests, but it would be extremely difficult for him to replenish the power of the Ice Dragon Sword sheath. Chun Xiang did not have that kind of patience. He also believed that he would be able to find the power to replenish the key and open the remaining 2 treasure chests. The hammer of G-Ro D that he had gotten from opening the treasure chest last time was a supreme treasure. This could allow him to avoid using Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword in the future, and at least have a powerful weapon that he could use. Chun Xiang used a large number of spars and finally understood what was going on with the profound being. The profound being would be held in the profound ice city, and the profound ice city would be located at the outskirts of the profound cold ancient realm, where the transmission array would exist. In that way, the northern goblin city, which the demon charming AAS association was in control of, would lose its advantage, but the demon charming AAS association did not care at the moment, as LV Qinlian needed to recuperate from her injuries. Therefore, when LV Qinlian had initially decided to withdraw from the new Imperial Heaven Worlds Compet 1 tie-in, he had also considered this point. Her demon charming AAS association had a lot of resources. After quitting, she had transferred all her AAS sets to him, and had also gained a large sum. At first, Chen Xiang thought that the profound ice city was a city covered in snow and ice, but after arriving here, he found it hard to believe that the profound ice city was located in the snow and ice outside the profound cold ancient realm. The only difference was that the entire city was enveloped by a faintly golden barrier of air that could be seen with the naked eye. The cold wind could not blow in, and the ice and snow would not appear here either. The light from the outside penetrated through the barrier of light, making the entire city seem as if it was being illuminated by warm sunlight. To be able to create such a city meant that the power that controlled the city had set its sights on it, and used its greatest strength to build the city well, attracting a large number of people. From this, it could also mean that the power that controlled the city was very powerful, because the powerful formation that enveloped the city was not something that a normal power could build. The qualifications to Partic 1. P8 in the Profound Being S meeting in Profound Ice City is very high. One must either have high-quality Profound Being S with stones, or have 300 billion spar S, because when the Profound Being meets, there will be giant auctions, or gambling with Profound Being S, and the activities of Profound Being exhibitions will all require a large number of spar S. The Profound Being S were divided into 4 ranks, upper, middle, and top. The lower tier was the worst, and of course, this was determined by the cold chi and appearance that the Profound Being released. Due to psychological effects, many people believed that this kind of Profound Being had a higher chance of producing treasures. Chen Xiang obtained the qualifications to have 300 billion spar. It was not like he did not have 10 high-quality Profound Being S. He had over 3,000 of these Profound Being. It was just that he stole all of these Profound Being. If he took them out, they would definitely recognize him. Although he did not know which power was in charge of the Profound Ice City, Chen Xiang could roughly guess that only the Fire Divine Palace had this kind of arm. Regardless if it was held by the Fire Divine Palace, Chen Xiang planned to join in the fun. If he saw Profound Being S with treasures inside, he would use any means to get them. After obtaining the qualifications to Partic 1 P8 in this great AS assembly, Chen Xiang waited in a restaurant to begin. After a few days said, Chen Xiang could hear people exclaiming in the streets every day, saying that some important figures or big shots of some kind had come. Although Chen Xiang did not know who those big shots were, and he had not heard of them, he knew that there were a lot of strong people who had come to Partic 1 P8 in the Profound Being Conference, and they seemed to be newly formed powers. In the morning, Chen Xiang was walking on a wide and uninhabited street. Because of the Profound Being S meeting, this street was sealed today, and only those who had qualifications to Partic 1 P8 in the Profound Being S meeting could enter. When Chen Xiang arrived at the entrance, he could feel a very familiar fire aura. It belonged to the Fire Divine Palace, but this could only mean that the Fire Divine Palace was Partic 1 P8ing in the Compet 1 tie-in, which did not mean that this villa was the lair of the Fire Divine Palace. However, it made Chen Xiang more or less certain that this Profound Ice City was somehow related to the Fire Divine Palace, or it could be done by the Fire Divine Palace allied forces. The villa was called the Raging Flames Villa. Upon entering the villa, he immediately felt a warm wave of heat that made his body feel indescribably comfortable. Entering the villa, Chen Xiang heard the question of the servants guarding the road and knew where the main hall was. That was the place where the profound Bing-s were displayed, and was also the place where the Partic 1p ants of the profound Bing-s meeting would show off the unique profound Bing-s that he had obtained. If anyone had their eyes on them, he could directly buy them here, but the prices required both parties to communicate with each other. There were at least 300 billion spar, or 10 high-quality profound Bing, and a few mid-quality profound Bing that were able to Partic 1p8 in the profound Bing-s. Although they couldn't be sure that there were treasures in the profound Bing-s, they were all expensive. When Chen Xiang arrived at the exhibition hall, he saw that there were trillions of ancient profound Bing-s called Gold Dragon Ice-s. They were dazzling in gold and looked like a golden dragon made out of gold, hovering above a pillar while holding a golden pearl in its mouth. A naturally formed profound Bing could look like this. It was truly strange. Furthermore, the cold chi that the gold dragon ice was releasing was also very strong. It was much stronger than the high-quality profound Bing. Chen Xiang strolled around a few times, and finally stood in front of the gold dragon ice, and then carefully looked at it. He could use the Chaos Divine Eye to look at the extremely valuable treasures inside, because he also felt that this gold dragon ice was very special. There were a lot of people watching the gold dragon ice, and it wasn't easy for Chen Xiang to squeeze in, so he could look even more closely, and he heard the people around talking about the gold dragon ice. Most people thought that the gold dragon ice had good things, but no one bought them, because the price of the gold dragon ice was 1.8 trillion. There were many people who wanted to buy it, but they were Embark, as said, and could only drool. They cursed the wastrel who took out the gold dragon ice to sell. This sort of thing should have been left for them to sell. They actually dared to take it out. Chen Xiang snickered in his heart, because more and more people used the profound Bing's appearance to determine if there were any treasures inside. If it was possible, Chen Xiang would really like to see those normal profound Bing, because he felt that the possibility of these normal profound Bing having treasures was much higher than those beautiful profound Bing. The more than 3,000 profound Bing he got from the Fire Divine Palace already had 1,000 of them, but they did not have any treasures right now. Many people were commenting about the gold dragon ice. Only Chen Xiang was looking at it very carefully, with a focused expression. Some people thought that he was pretending to understand the profound Bing, especially those who often played with it, because they believed that they were certain that there were definitely treasures inside. Many people were commenting about the gold dragon ice. Only Chen Xiang was looking at it very carefully, with a focused expression. Some people thought that he was pretending to understand the profound Bing, especially those who often played with it, because they believed that they were certain that there were definitely treasures inside. Chen Xiang used the Chaos Divine Eye to look carefully a few times, but he still could not find anything inside the profound Bing. He could not help but shake his head and sigh. Such a beautiful piece of profound Bing with no treasures inside, which made him feel that it was a pity. At the same time, he was even more sure that these gaudy profound Bing actually had nothing inside. "Brother, what are you sighing for? It's normal that you can't afford it. Just now, you were squeezing around this gold dragon ice. Do you really think you can see if there's anything inside?" An old man who was trampled on by Chen Xiang just now was kept in mind. Seeing Chen Xiang looking at him in such a serious manner, his heart was in a mess, so he started to complain. Chen Xiang was currently a long-bearded middle-aged man. He shook his head and said, "No, I'm sighing because this gold dragon ice looks so good, but there's nothing inside." Chen Xiang was speaking the truth. Although his voice was low, the people who were able to come here had good hearing, and could hear what Chen Xiang said. Hearing Chen Xiang say that, everyone was enraged, and scolded themselves. "What do you know?" Seeing everyone's expressions, Chen Xiang did not say any more. He was indeed speaking the truth just now. Nonsense, such a strange piece of profound Bing, naturally formed dragons, how can there not be treasures inside? If there aren't any treasures, how did this profound being turn into a dragon? A black-clothed man coldly snorted. Chen Xiang said, I have seen many strange profound being, but very few of them were able to produce treasures, so I would like to ask why these strange profound being do not have any treasures. These profound being do not have any treasures, but the profound being are still unique. There were a lot of things like what he said just now, and those people were speechless at this moment. However, the black-clothed man still said resolutely, Didn't you see that the gold dragon eyes were incomparable to those strange profound being? There must be treasures inside the gold dragon eyes. Chen Xiang laughed coldly. It's useless to say anything unless you break it down and take a look. That's right, but if you want to break through the profound being, then you have to buy it. This is a huge gamble. Which one of you two would dare to do that? Don't just talk, arguing is meaningless. Call him and do something. Buy it, break it. Everyone jeered. Chen Xiang said loudly towards the black-clothed man, If my guess is right, then this gold dragon ice should belong to this brother. Since you are so sure that there are treasures inside the gold dragon ice, why not open it yourself and shout it out? What are your intentions? Hearing Chen Xiang's words, everyone began to discuss softly, especially when they saw the muscles on the man in black's face twitch. They were even more certain that this gold dragon ice was his. Chen Xiang originally did not dare to be sure, so he was only casually saying that even if the gold dragon ice was not the black-clothed man's, he did not suffer any losses. Since he was so sure that there were treasures inside the gold dragon ice, why did he not break through the profound being and instead sell it here at a high price? As long as he was not stupid, everyone would understand that this guy did not have much confidence in his gold dragon ice, but he was sure that there were treasures inside the gold dragon ice. Seeing that the black-clothed man had nothing to say, Chen Xiang laughed secretly in his heart. The reason he came here today was to join in on the fun, and then to cause some trouble. With such a high quality of cold energy like this gold dragon ice, he definitely could not let the Fire Divine Palace take it away to revive the Ice Emperor. Therefore, Chen Xiang decided to destroy the profound being. The man in black took a deep breath, and cursed at Chen Xiang many times in his heart before he said slowly, There must be some treasures inside the gold dragon ice, but there are also some treasures of various grades, and I am not sure what this treasure is, so I took out the gold dragon ice to sell. If everyone wants to bet a bet, I can sell 1,500,000,000,000 of them right now. The crowd was in an uproar, but there were definitely not many people who wanted to buy it. The risk was too high, the price was too high, even a huge being like the Fire Divine Palace could not bear the price. Chen Xiang laughed coldly. You just said it before, there's a treasure inside the gold dragon ice, but it can also be a treasure that's not good. Your words aren't bad. That's right, there must be treasures inside the gold dragon ice. The man in black said with determination. And if not? Chen Xiang looked at the gold dragon ice and said, If I buy this gold dragon ice, and there are no treasures inside, you can return to the 150 billion spar, and give it to me. What do you think? Had also expected this, so he continued to say something extremely tempting. How about this, because I think that there are no treasures in the gold dragon ice, if I buy your gold dragon ice, if there are no treasures inside, then you can return 150 billion to me. If you have the treasure will belong to you and the 150 billion will belong to you. What do you think? The man in black thought for a moment and then shouted, No problem. Chen Xiang immediately took out 150 billion spar. Dragon Subduing City had made a lot of spar, and he had it with him. Everyone immediately did not dare to look down on him anymore, because Chen Xiang was not using 150 billion to buy the profound being, but to gamble. Furthermore, what he was betting on was not only the spar, but the treasures inside the profound being. If the profound being really had a precious treasure, he would definitely lose a lot. Everyone immediately retreated, far away from the gold dragon eyes. They did not expect that the guy who kept saying that the gold dragon ice did not have any treasures was actually buying it now. Furthermore, he handed it over to the spar happily, which was truly admirable. Everyone was guessing the ident. Tie of this person. To have this kind of action, he definitely wasn't an ordinary person. The gold dragon ice was bought, and there was even a bet made. If this bet was won by Chen Xiang, then Chen Xiang would get nothing, and at most, make sure that there were no treasures inside the gold dragon ice. And if that man in black won, not only would he obtain treasures, he would also get 150 billion spar. The person who broke through the profound Bing was the one who would be sent by the profound Bing, and he used a sharp knife. As long as he stimulated the profound Bing to the point where it could be broken into pieces, the gold dragon ice could be broken into pieces. Old Mister, sorry for the trouble. After Chen Xiang finished speaking, he retreated far away, lest others think that he was cheating, and the black-clothed man did the same as they kept their distance from Chen Xiang, the 3-man tall gold dragon ice. The old man used his sharp knife and stabbed into the profound Bing, only to see the gold dragon ice suddenly shatter, turning into a piece of ice and falling to the ground. There was a thick pile of ice crystal powder on the ground, and it was still unable to confirm if there were any treasures inside. The old man waved his sleeve and used his strength to hold up the ice crystal powder, and then floated up like a curtain of water. Chen Xiang laughed. "Brother, don't tell me you want to go back on your words?" The man in black clenched his fists tightly, appearing very excited. He rushed up and carefully examined the ice crystal powder. After searching carefully, he did not find any treasure. The 150 billion spar that did not have any warmth were about to be returned to Chen Xiang, which made the man in black feel extremely unresigned in his heart. Although from the looks of the bet, he had gained a lot, but if he lost, his losses were not small either. Chen Xiang stored away the ice crystal powder on the ground. This was his final goal, which was to obtain this gold dragon ice without spending a single spar. This ice crystal powder was trash in the eyes of many people, but in Chen Xiang's eyes, the high-grade materials for refining pills could become a very powerful killing tool in his hands. Who is this guy? A perfectly fine piece of gold dragon ice was destroyed by him like this. Investigate carefully for me. If he's not that powerful, teach him a lesson and destroy our plan. An old man from the manor said angrily. Before this, we had already investigated everyone who was qualified, but only this person was unable to find out. I think he used a disguise technique and a fake one. He must have a huge background. I'm sure he doesn't know if he is hostile towards us Fire Divine Palace or not. The old man from the Fire Divine Palace snorted. Regardless of whether or not he is hostile to our Fire Divine Palace, he must be taught a lesson for destroying a good profound Bing like the gold dragon ice. The profound Bing showcase hall was very big. The gold dragon ice had already been broken down, and there were no treasures inside, causing those who wanted to buy the profound Bing to give up on the idea of taking the risk. The profound Bing showcase hall was very big. The gold dragon ice had already been broken down, and there were no treasures inside, causing those who wanted to buy the profound Bing to give up on the idea of taking the risk. Clearly, the other profound Bing were more or less the same. Although everyone knew about this, it was all because of the psychological effects of so whenever they saw some of the more peculiar-looking profound Bing, they all thought that it was possible that there were treasures inside. In this place, perhaps only Chen Xiang could see whether or not there were treasures inside the profound Bing, but he did not have much hope for them. He felt that it would be very difficult to find treasures within the profound Bing, especially this kind of high-quality profound Bing. He was just curious how these profound Bing were formed. Chen Xiang did not believe that these profound Bing were naturally formed. He felt that these profound Bing were all created on purpose and were discovered by people many years later. There were a lot of people in the exhibition hall, but there were many big shots or strong people gathered here. They had a lot of spar and there was nowhere for them to spend them, so naturally they wanted to try their luck here, because some treasures were priceless treasures. No matter how many spar you had, they would not be willing to sell them to you. Brother, my tone of voice just now was a bit presumptuous, please forgive me. A black-clothed man walked to Chen Xiang's side and cupped his hands. Chen Xiang never thought that he would actually take the initiative to apologize to him. But from the way things were going, although this man was a little aggressive on the inside, he was extremely upright. Although he had lost the bet, but he was very straightforward and also admitted defeat. I'm fine. I wonder what your name is? Chen Xiang waved his hand at him and said, My name is Bai Xian, where's brother? The black-clothed man laughed and said, It was obvious that he wanted to become friends with Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang also wanted to know the location of the gold dragon ice and smiled apologetically. Kai Gui. Bai Xian was a little shorter than Chen Xiang, but he had a tall and stu-dy physique. Even though he was not handsome, he looked extremely charismatic, with a sharp horn on his face and a sense of steadiness, but the things that he had done before were clearly too impulsive. He understood now and decided to become friends with Chen Xiang. The two did not have any conflicts, and they were not narrow-minded people either, so they soon started talking. Chen Xiang felt that this Bai Xian was not simple. Although he looked like someone who had endured the 6 nirvana tribulations, Chen Xiang could feel that he was looking at flowers through the fog. Brother Bai, how did you get that gold dragon ice? It might not be easy to get hold of it. After Chen Xiang and Bai Xian talked about a lot of things, they suddenly sent a sound transmission to Bai Xian and went straight to the point. Bai Xian was also not surprised. He replied with a sound transmission. I got it from the profound cold ancient realm. This gold dragon ice was buried very deeply. Actually, there is a secret which only very powerful forces know about. What secret? Chen Xiang had always been curious about the origins of these unique profound beings. Some of the deeper parts of the profound cold ancient realm have hidden rivers, and most of these unique profound beings are submerged in these rivers. Although many of the powerful forces know about them, they cannot bring them up, because those underground rivers are exceptionally cold, and even the powerful immortals can turn into profound beings. Chen Xiang was secretly surprised. There was actually this kind of underground river in the profound cold ancient realm. He thought that it should be the reason behind the profound cold ancient realm's appearance. Those profound beings were probably formed this way too. He planned to take a look at those underground rivers. Brother Bai, could it be that your gold dragon ice was obtained from there? It seems that you are not a simple person. Chen Xiang looked at a 3-headed, tiger-shaped profound being, and secretly whispered to Bai Xian. I didn't get it, it was just a coincidence. When I met the Gus H.I.+ing river, the gold dragon ice gushed out from the hole dug by someone else, but this situation is very rare, I was lucky. Chen Xiang did not believe that Bai Xian was lucky, but this was a secret to other people getting rich. He was not too familiar with Bai Xian right now, so he would naturally not pursue the details to prevent others from feeling disgusted, but he already had a way to get Bai Xian to bring him to search for those underground rivers. Big Brother Kai, why are you so sure that there are no treasures in my gold dragon ice? Don't say that you're just lucky, I can see that you were quite confident back then, and weren't those lucky gamblers. Bai Xian asked. He only planned to befriend Chen Xiang because he had thought of this point. Chen Xiang would definitely not say that he was able to tell that there was something inside the profound being, so he replied. It's just a little family heirloom secretary, but not every profound being is fine, especially those very ordinary profound being. I can't really tell, but if it's these high-quality profound being, I can easily see through them, but not all of them. Then I'll be able to see through the gold dragon ice with a single glance. Hearing Chen Xiang's words, Bai Xian was extremely excited. I never thought that there would be someone as amazing as Big Brother Kai, who can see if there are any treasures inside the profound being. Although not all profound being can see it, this is pretty impressive. Bai Xian exclaimed in shock and secretly sighed in his heart. The only thing he had done in his bet with Chen Xiang was to lose a piece of profound being. With regards to this, it allowed him to have a much better impression of Chen Xiang, and also gave him the chance to meet someone like Chen Xiang. Big Brother Kai, since you have such a family heirloom secret technique, why don't we cooperate and use the profound being to make a fortune? Bai Xian whispered to Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang knew that it wouldn't be long before he would be able to follow Bai Xian to the profound cold ancient realm to look for the place where the hidden river gushed out. Brother Bai, I do not lack spar, I just want more high-quality profound being, because I feel that these broken profound being can be used for a high price. Chen Xiang said. Bai Xian was shocked. It was not as if no one had done this before, but he knew that this Big Brother Kai, in front of him, had a secret technique. He might be able to use these profound beings to create some powerful objects. Chen Xiang released a little bit of sweetness to lure Bai Xian. If nothing unexpected happened after the profound being ends, he should be able to follow Bai Xian to the profound cold ancient realm. Inside the showcase, not all the profound being were unique profound being of high quality, and there were also many so-called inferior profound being, which were all ordinary. It was precisely from these inferior profound being that Chen Xiang had produced this kind of impressive thing called philosophic stone. Chen Xiang and Bai Xian walked over to those inferior profound beings who had lost their luster in the showroom. Chen Xiang noticed a round yellow profound being, and when he looked over, the chaos divine eye seemed to be able to see something from inside. There seems to be something inside this piece of profound being. I never thought that I would be able to see if there was anything inside this inferior profound being. This is my first time seeing it. Chen Xiang sent a sound transmission to Bai Xian. In order for Bai Xian to believe in his secret technique, he had to prove it. Bai Xian was immediately overjoyed. Can you see what treasure is inside? No, I can only see if there's anything inside. Treasures or something are hard to see. Chen Xiang was telling the truth. How much is this profound being worth? Chen Xiang asked. An old man in charge walked over and said, These are not for sale, these are all gifts. Only by purchasing the designated profound being S can you obtain these gifts. This is not a place to sell inferior profound being S. Chen Xiang nodded his head. So that's how it is. Didn't I say it before? How can we sell low-quality profound being here? He looked at Bai Xian and asked with a smile. I didn't buy anything from your gold dragon ice just now. Ever since the bet just now, Chen Xiang and Chen Xiang had been noticed by everyone here. The fact that they could become friends made many people quite surprised. That's because someone else prepared the gift, and someone else didn't. He knew that the two of them were old men. One of them could take out a gold dragon ice, and the other could throw out more than 1 trillion spar in one breath. These were not people he could afford to offend. Chen Xiang laughed. Oh, I don't know what kind of profound being I have to buy to be able to obtain this oval-shaped profound being, but I am actually a person who likes to take small advantages of others. Chen Xiang was not so stupid as to directly say that he wanted to buy the oval-shaped profound being. Under the guidance of the old man, Chen Xiang quickly found the seller and bought a high-quality profound being that was worth more than 500 billion, then went to a resting room with Bai Xian. Under the guidance of the old man, Chen Xiang quickly found the seller and bought a high-quality profound being that was worth more than 500 billion, then went to a resting room with Bai Xian. Chen Xiang took out the hammer of God and lightly struck the head of it, opening that oval-shaped profound being, only to see a thumb-sized piece of immortal jade rolling inside. There is indeed something. Furthermore, it is a celestial jade. However, this is a bit of a loss. This piece of immortal jade was indeed not worth 500 billion spar, but Chen Xiang had proven that he could see if there was anything inside the profound being or not. The celestial jade was very small, but Chen Xiang could see it. If it was a big guy, it would be even easier. Then what about that piece of profound being that was bought with 500 billion, does that have a profound being inside? Bai Xian asked anxiously. Chen Xiang shook his head. I can't tell. Because Chen Xiang could not let this Bai Xian know that he could see very accurately. He wanted to create an illusion that Bai Xian would think that he was accurate at times and would not be able to see through him. Following that, Chen Xiang broke through the profound being he had bought, but there was nothing inside. Chen Xiang and Bai Xian could only sigh in disappointment. Although Chen Xiang had lost a lot, he believed that the loss now was worth it, because it would allow him to obtain even more high-quality profound being, so he might not need to spend too much effort. Although he already had a lot of high-quality profound being, but he did not think that it would be enough. The Profound Being's exhibition hall will not close. If everyone has enough spar, you can come again. The next event will be a big one, and everyone should be looking forward to it. A middle-aged man said in a clear voice. Chen Xiang looked at the middle-aged man and frowned because the middle-aged man had the aura of a fire divine palace. Just a moment ago, he felt that the middle-aged man was looking at his cultivation level. As expected of the Fire Divine Palace, Chen Xiang clenched his fists tightly. He felt that he was in danger. This was the territory of the Fire Divine Palace, and Fire Divine Palace was related to him, so he must not be weak. Everyone headed towards the auction house. Chen Xiang walked in vigilantly as well as he sat in the middle row with Bai Xian. After everyone had left, the middle-aged man from earlier stepped onto the platform. Holding a bronze mirror in his hand, he swept his gaze over the crowd. Just as his gaze landed on Chen Xiang's body suddenly started to exude a gold light, which surprised Chen Xiang greatly, because he felt that his disguise was disappearing. At this moment, everyone's eyes were focused on him, because the multicolored light surrounding his body was very dazzling. Even in this very wide hall, he was still very attractive. Bai Xian was even more surprised. He thought that Chen Xiang was about to do something out of bounds, even though he still wasn't too familiar with Chen Xiang, but he knew that Chen Xiang was an extraordinary person who could use some trouble to see through the contents of the profound being. After the golden light surrounding Chen Xiang disappeared, everyone in the auction venue sucked in a breath of cold air because Chen Xiang's transformation had been cancelled. Chen Xiang, I never thought that it would actually be you, haha. Under the Sky Soul mirror, your true form is revealed. The middle-aged man on the stage laughed out loud. You're a dignified dragon subduing school of a dragon subduing school, and yet you don't dare to use your real body to appear. The one who was even more shocked was Bai Xian, because he did not expect that the mysterious person who could see if there was anything inside the profound being was actually Chen Xiang. The leader of the dragon subduing school had grasped dragon veins, knew how to refine pills, and had done many heaven and earth shocking things. In the new imperial heaven world, it was really difficult to find out, as his portraits were all over the street. Although he was now a leader of the dragon subduing school and had very powerful strength, there were still powers placing bounties on him, namely the Tong Tian aristocratic family and some of the Sage Realm experts. Although none of these powers had strong experts, their foundations were very thick and there were many spar and such. Although it would be difficult to get a hold of Chen Xiang with such a high bounty, it was enough to make Chen Xiang not dare to show his face in the new imperial heaven world, especially at a situation like this. Chen Xiang. Great devil! It was unknown who shouted, but the crowd quickly scattered and left Chen Xiang, and it was the same for Bai Xian. Although Chen Xiang was very strong, he had made too many enemies, and the middle-aged man on the stage clearly wanted to deal with Chen Xiang as well. You guys are from Fire Divine Palace, right? It's not like you have any rules about whether or not you can take part in the Profound Being S. Do you know how long I had to take part in the S? Chen Xiang was extremely furious in his heart. His ident. 1. Tai had been exposed, because he had only dared to let Bai Xian know that he had the ability to see through the profound being after changing his appearance. If others knew that his dragon-subduing school had this kind of heaven-defying ability, then it would be very difficult for him to buy a set of profound being in the future. Everyone could feel Chen Xiang's anger, and a monstrous killing intent immediately filled the entire arena. Chen Xiang suddenly disappeared. He flew across the S.P.A.C., took out his green dragon demon-slain broadsword, and fiercely slashed at the heavens' spirit mirror. He controlled it well, and he hacked it with great precision. He only destroyed the mirror in the middle-aged man's hand, not harming him. Initially, he had wanted to put away the heavenly spirit mirror, but who knew that Chen Xiang's speed was so fast that he arrived right in front of him in an instant, and even made a slash. If Chen Xiang's blade was even more ruthless, he might already be dead on the spot. Impudent, don't think that my fire divine palace is a persimmon that you can pinch as you please. If you think that we are trash like the Tong Tian aristocratic family, then you are completely wrong. Chen Xiang was shocked in his heart. He had long since known that there was a very powerful fellow hidden within the Fire Divine Palace, but he didn't expect that there would be an old fellow here. It was you who first destroyed my disguise. You were the one who acted presumptuously. Chen Xiang shouted angrily. Even though the opponent was very strong, he would definitely not show any weakness in terms of aura. Boy, I do not wish to attack you. Furthermore, you are not qualified for me to attack you. However, that does not mean that I will spare you. The old man was clearly a bit angry as well. His strength was so great, but he was actually being contradicted by a little kid. It's the immortal king. This old fellow is an immortal king. Long Shui shouted. She was saying, let Chen Xiang quickly escape. Just as Long Shui realized the old man's strength, the entire auction place was enveloped in a powerful seal. This was a barrier created by the immortal king using a lot of energy, sealing off the surrounding S.P.A.C., so even if Chen Xiang used the power of the spatial laws, he would not be able to escape. The moment Chen Xiang destroyed the heavenly spirit mirror, the old man could tell that Chen Xiang knew some secret methods to travel through S.P.A.C., which was why he immediately sealed it. He could not let Chen Xiang escape, because this was the best opportunity to capture Chen Xiang. Previously, the old man was still a little worried, because there was a very powerful and mysterious great elder by Chen Xiang's side. However, he didn't need to worry about him now, because he was sure that the great elder wasn't present. The rest of the people in the auction house were trapped here with Chen Xiang, and just when they were complaining incessantly in their hearts, the old man chuckled and said, Friends, this old man swears on Fire Divine Palace that he won't let you hurt a single hair on your head. If our Fire Divine Palace is able to capture Chen Xiang today, then from today onwards, we will not decline your request. And right now, everyone can also immediately watch an intense battle, to witness the elegance of Dragon Subduing School. Everyone could feel the powerful aura exuding from the old man. Although the people here were all heavyweights, when faced with an immortal king, they were still nothing more than ants. Chen Xiang took a deep breath. Right at that moment, the middle-aged man in front of him suddenly attacked. After receiving the orders from the powerful old man, he immediately took action. When his palm struck towards Chen Xiang, a few sharp blade tips suddenly appeared in his palm. If he were to be struck by the palm, his body would definitely be pierced. The middle-aged man thought that Chen Xiang would dodge or block, but unexpectedly, Chen Xiang did not move an inch, and his body released a strong traction force that firmly sucked the middle-aged man's hand onto his shoulder. When the knife on the middle-aged man's palm stabbed onto Chen Xiang's body, it actually bounced off, as if he was stabbing a piece of vajra with great force. With your little strength, you still want to kill me? Cram. Chen Xiang struck out his palm, striking the middle-aged man's face and sending him flying out. He crashed into a pillar at the auction house, and after breaking the pillar, He fell to the ground spitting out blood. After Chen Xiang's transformation was broken through by the heavenly spirit mirror, he revealed his true form, causing many of Chen Xiang's plans to be disrupted. After Chen Xiang's transformation was broken through by the heavenly spirit mirror, he revealed his true form, causing many of Chen Xiang's plans to be disrupted. Brother Shen, how are you now? Bai Xian thought about it for a long time before finally sending a sound transmission to Chen Xiang. I only need to escape. Can you help me? Chen Xiang was currently sealed within a strong barrier, and this barrier was shrinking. As long as it was within a certain range, the people trapped within would be able to leave, and at that time, only Chen Xiang would be able to escape. This is very difficult. The old man who laid the spirit formation was an immortal king, and the power of the spirit formation is getting stronger and stronger. There is a very powerful formation here, and as long as that formation is activated, you will not be able to escape. Bai Xian sent a sound transmission to Chen Xiang, but when it was transmitted over, the voice became softer, showing just how powerful the barrier was. It seems that I can only work with you in the future. I will escape as soon as possible. You should leave this place for now. If a great battle breaks out, it might affect you. Chen Xiang sighed. The rest of the people in the auction venue weren't in the enchantment anymore, so he immediately left to avoid any misfortunes. Chen Xiang, you have some skills. If I didn't intervene, it would be difficult for anyone in my Fire Divine Palace to kill you. Right now, let's seal you here temporarily. This is also to allow my new Imperial Heaven world to have some peace and quiet. The old man's words made Chen Xiang flustered and exasperated. Chen Xiang could feel that the enchantment around him had become stronger. He guessed that the Fire Divine Palace used some sort of formation plate or other to reinforce him, making it harder for him to escape. Seal him for 10 years. If no other powerful forces appear within these 10 years, we will make our move and take down the Chen martial continent before we rule over the entire new Imperial Heaven world. Chen Xiang used up all of his divine power and could only barely break out, so he could hear this sentence. Did I really get sealed? What is this guy trying to do? Chen Xiang used all of his strength to frantically strike at the invisible barrier, causing rumbling sounds. However, he did not release any of his strength outwards, as all of it exploded inside the barrier. Originally, there were many tables and chairs in this auction venue, but now all of them had been destroyed by Chen Xiang. He was sealed here. Chen Xiang was furious when he thought about how he was going to be sealed for 10 years. He took out the green dragon demon-slain broadsword and hacked at it randomly, but like before, it was completely useless. He also used some escape techniques, such as the water escape technique and the earth escape technique, but this barrier was too powerful. It was as if this barrier was customized for him, and he was still unable to escape. Use the hammer of God, Long Shui reminded. Chen Xiang immediately took out his hammer of God and hammered at the invisible barrier a few times, but to no avail. Following that, Chen Xiang used all sorts of powerful techniques, but were unable to break through the barrier. If I have the power of the SPAC laws, I'll definitely be able to travel through SPAC. Chen Xiang felt so, because he had used the power of the spatial laws, allowing SPAC to fluctuate slightly. It was just that SPAC had been strengthened and strengthened by the power released by the formation. One must know that when the Fire Divine Palace sealed Chen Xiang, he used 2 formation plates, so they naturally had the strength to kill Chen Xiang. However, who would have known that Chen Xiang was a living treasure trove? Furthermore, Chen Xiang was an alchemist. He definitely had a fire soul on him, and it was very powerful. Fire Divine Palace had been staring at his fire soul for a long time, but he couldn't tell what kind of fire soul it was. Palace Lord, are we just going to keep him trapped like this for 10 years? Chen Xiang is a treasure all over his body, we should torture him to the point of forcing him to hand over the valuable things on us. A man asked, "Whoever goes torture him, you go or I go, that's just courting death. Although I'm an immortal king, you should know that there are a lot of experts who have died at the hands of this kid, so he must have some way to kill those experts. So, we must be careful." He already saw Chen Xiang as someone who could kill him, which was why he decided to first seal him for 10 years. Furthermore, he could not go to at least as long as he could not give Chen Xiang the opportunity to do so. In that case, if we just seal him like this, we won't be able to get back the resources used by the formation. The man asked again. Those who could question the hall master like this were no ordinary people. First seal him for 10 years. If the great clan elder does not come to save him within these 10 years, that would mean that the great clan elder is not in the dragon subduing school. At that time, we would go to the Chun martial continent and capture his wife and recognize sister as a form of threat. The man smiled and said, "As expected of the hall master. As expected, the older you are, the wiser you are." The Fire Divine Palace Lord sighed. "Regarding Qin Xiang, we can't not be cautious. The Emperor Dragon Guards that the Prince Imperial Dragon had brought along were instantly killed by the Great Elder, then the Great Elder's strength should be above mine. If we were to fight, it would be difficult for me to deal with him." Chen Xiang, who was sealed within the villa, still didn't know the Fire Divine Palace Lord's plan right now. However, he did know that the Fire Divine Palace Lord was planning to attack the Chen martial continent 10 years later. Half of the power in his body had already been used up, but this formation was still unbreakable. No matter how powerful his attack was, it could not move it in the slightest. 10 years is enough time for you to raise your strength by quite a lot. Maybe you'll be able to get out when the time comes. Su Meiyao said. How could Chen Xiang not be anxious when such a thing had just happened, when the demon charming A.S. association had just been lured out? If his heart wasn't that good, he might have already gone mad with anxiety by now, because he could see through the intentions of the old man who sealed him here. One was to see if the white tiger would appear, and if it didn't, the people from the Fire Divine Palace would go to the Chen martial continent to capture the person with the best relations. Hi+P to chorus him. Although he wasn't sure if this would happen, he was very worried. If the white tiger didn't come, and he continued to be sealed here, it was hard to say. Chen Xiang lied on the ground and took deep breath. He hoped that Xue Xianxian and Ling Yulan would not come here, otherwise it would be equivalent to walking into a trap. Fire Divine Palace, remember this, father. After I leave, the first thing I'll do is shovel Fire Divine Palace out. Chen Xiang's anger soared to the skies as killing intent surged from his body. Chen Xiang was sealed here, and even spirit energy could not enter, so the people of Fire Divine Palace were not worried that Chen Xiang would raise his strength here. In order to ensure the stability of the array, they did not set up any surveillance array, and felt that it would be relatively easy to trap Chen Xiang for 10 years. Chen Xiang had stored a large amount of things that could help him increase his own strength, and in this aspect, those old fellows from the Fire Divine Palace who did not even consider anything to do with this item. This was also the only thing Chen Xiang could rely on to leave this place. Let's refine a Super Qi Shin Dan first, Su Meiyao said. Chen Xiang had also planned to do this. If he were a Super Qi Shin Dan, consuming a few pills in a row would allow his cultivation to increase a lot. In the end, he would still be able to break through a bottleneck with the help of a philosophic stone. In the later stages of the Nirvana realm, one could not rely on elixirs to break through. One still had to comprehend the martial way, or else it would not be possible to draw in Nirvana Doom. If you can attract Nirvana Doom, perhaps you can use Nirvana Doom to break this barrier. However, this barrier came from the Heaven Realm, and you are worried that the Nirvana Doom will form inside, so you can only rely on your own strength to break this seal. Su Meiyao said. Chen Xiang could only give it a try, there was no other way. The Qi Shindan was very easy to refine, so Chun Xiang had a large amount of creation divine liquid in his reserve. A Qi Shindan made from 5,000 sets of medicinal ingredients, the results should be pretty good, right? Chun Xiang planned to first use 1 month's time to condense a large number of creation divine liquid, then duplicate 5,000 sets of Qi Shindan's medicine, and finally use the 10,000 refinements technique to quickly refine the Qi Shindan. I can leave very soon. B.A.S.T.A.R.D.S. of the Fire Divine Palace, just wait to be squeezed to death by me one by one. You actually schemed against me like this. Chun Xiang calmed his heart down, then slightly closed his eyes and began to circulate the dragon cohesion kung fu, condensing those mystical creation divine liquid. In the blink of an eye, Chun Xiang was trapped for over a month. When he was at the auction house, many people were there, so it was difficult to hide the matter, and Fire Divine Palace did not plan to hide it from the beginning. Furthermore, he even spread the news of Chun Xiang being captured. In the blink of an eye, Chun Xiang was trapped for over a month. When he was at the auction house, many people were there, so it was difficult to hide the matter, and Fire Divine Palace did not plan to hide it from the beginning. Furthermore, he even spread the news of Chun Xiang being captured. The reason why Chun Xiang was captured was because he was causing trouble at the Profound Being SAS Association. However, Chun Xiang did not have any soldiers. This was all made up by the Fire Divine Palace. If Chun Xiang knew about this, he would be even angrier. Many of Chun Xiang's acquaintances knew that he had been captured, but most of them were very calm and did not plan to save him. This was because in a place where even Chun Xiang was trapped, they were also unable to rescue him. Even Chun Xiang had been trapped there, so if they were to go, they would definitely be caught. Although they were a little anxious in their hearts, if they were to go, it might even cause trouble for Chun Xiang. Chun Xiang did not wish for others to come and save him. Of course, if it was the white tiger, he would be very happy to see it. It's finally enough for 5,000 sets of Qi Shindan S. Chun Xiang had been busy for more than a month. If the Fire Divine Palace had this kind of crazy ability, he would definitely vomit blood because this was simply too dangerous. Trapping Chun Xiang was equivalent to allowing him to cultivate and raise his strength in peace. Chun Xiang hated the feeling of being sealed up by someone, so in order to quickly leave this place, he would definitely increase his strength and allow himself to leave this D.A.M. Ned place as soon as possible. To prevent others from spying on him, Chun Xiang took out some materials from the ring and built a house in the hall. Then, he set up a variety of formations in the house to prevent others from spying on his body. Dewan refining method could refine many batches of pills at the same time, especially those that Chun Xiang had mastered them extremely well. If others saw this, they would be in great danger, because the white tiger had warned him not to reveal anything regarding the heavenly alchemy. The heavenly alchemy was something that was even scarier than the heaven-earth killing method, so he was extremely cautious in this regard. This place should be enough for 15 batches of ingredient. This was what Chun Xiang had planned to do when he wanted to refine 5,000 sets of Super Qi Shindan. He would first use the Dewan refining method to burn the medicinal ingredients to a certain degree at the same time, and then transfer the mostly burnt medicine aura S and medicinal powders into the Yanlong furnace for fusion. In this way, he would be able to increase his speed. If it was in a place where the spiritual energy outside was dense, he could absorb a large amount of it into his body and release a very strong flame. It could instantly melt the Qi Shindan's medicine because he could establish a connection with the Qi Shindan's medicine and incinerate it from the inside. Chun Xiang placed the Yanlong furnace in the middle, let out a low growl, and activated Dewan refining method, condensing 15 translucent pale golden pill furnaces and surrounding the Yanlong furnace in the middle. Fire Divine Palace, it would be best if you all don't trap me for 10 years. If you really do trap me for 10 years, it would be hard to say just how far my strength will reach. Chen Xiang thought. A super qi shindan with 5,000 sets of medicinal ingredients was considerably strong, equivalent to a heaven-level pill. This was something that only Chen Xiang could refine with such a strong foundation. This was all to leave this place and punish Fire Divine Palace. The 15 batches of qi shindan began to refine. The flames within the pill furnace burned the medicinal ingredients, and the red light within flickered, illuminating the entire room. The strong light even emitted a slight warmth, causing one to feel extremely comfortable. Very quickly, the medicinal ingredients in the 15 pill furnaces had reached the stage where they could be refined. Chen Xiang immediately placed the refined medicine aura and medicinal powders inside, then started to refine another 15 batches. At the same time, he also had to control the fusion of the medicine aura and medicinal powders inside the Yanlong furnace. He would have to repeat this many times, and the more last, the more pressure he would feel, because at that time, the Yanlong furnace would already have absorbed a large amount of medicinal ingredients. Senior sister. Brother, he's been captured by the Fire Divine Palace. I really want to save him. After Leng Yulan was caught, she shouted to Xue Xianxian every day. She knew that her strength was limited, and saving Chen Xiang was like a moth to a flame, but she was very anxious, so she could only do this to ease her emotions. Xue Xianxian was the same, but she was very clear on the reason behind Fire Divine Palace's actions. Fire Divine Palace did not kill Chen Xiang, but instead trapped him, and from this, it could be seen that they had other plans. She did not believe that Fire Divine Palace had the ability to trap Chen Xiang, but they could not kill Chen Xiang on the way. I think that the Fire Divine Palace will definitely trap him for a very long time. I want to see if there are any powerful people who can save him. Xue Xianxian's face sank. Maybe it's against Dragon Subduing City, or maybe it's against Chen Martial Continent, and those of us who are closest to him. Ling Yulan shouted angrily. These bastards, they must come when the time comes. Let's see how this old lady will kill them. Xue Xianxian nodded his head. So we don't need to trouble your brother, we only need to increase our strength, and don't let him get away with it. Your brother has too many good things on him, and furthermore, he can endure the torture. Now that the Demon Charming Association has retreated, and with so many people watching us at the place where the Chen Martial Continent is, the only powerful dragon subduing school has been captured. In the following days, we should guard the Chen Martial Continent well, and not let anyone else occupy it. Leng Yulan nodded her head heavily. She wanted someone to come to the Chen Martial Continent to cause trouble. When that happened, she would be able to use her skills to eliminate those bastards. Due to the fact that Chen Xiang was captured by the Fire Divine Palace, the various powerhouses of the Chen Martial Continent started to get nervous once again. Earlier, when the Demon Charming Association had hidden himself to retreat, they were already prepared to go to war with him at any time, and now that Chen Xiang was captured, it meant that the Chen Martial Continent had lost the last of the powerful forces to protect them. Inside Dragon Subduing City, Li Baojun and the rest were also discussing. If there really is a day that we have to go to the Chen Martial Continent to assist them, many people would think that it would be easy to take down the Dragon Subduing City without Chen Xiang here. Actually, they are wrong. The Dragon Subduing City's powerful defense is not something they can imagine. Li Baojun said. Duan Sanchang nodded his head. We must pry more news about them during this period of time, and we must also use this time to increase our strength. Those fellows won't take any action in the near future. It might take a few years until they are sure that the great clan elder won't go save the leader, then they will take action. Earlier, the outside world had heard that although the great clan elder of the Dragon Subduing School was incomparably powerful, his movements were secretive, and even Chen Xiang was unable to find him for a short period of time. If they did not save Chen Xiang for a long period of time, the great powers who coveted for the Churn martial continent would dare to take action. Send someone to the devil-subduing college to notify him. The Prink. 1. P. Al there is on good terms with the leader and he can look after him when the time comes. Li Baojun said. Then what about leader? I don't want to save him anymore. Lon Lon asked. If the great clan elder does not appear, then only he will be able to save himself. Regarding his ability, we do not need to doubt it, we just need to protect this place well, and at that time we can just support the Churn martial continent. Su Yun said. Li Baojun said. Yen Yenran said. Then I will focus on spying on the Fire Divine Palace and create some rumors, letting those powers that want to curry favor with the Fire Divine Palace know about some of Fire Divine Palace's dirty secrets, and then discredit the Fire Divine Palace. Everyone divided their work. Although their strengths weren't very strong, their movements were extremely strong. With Duan Sanchong, the God of escape, here they had learnt a lot of abilities to escape. Inside the White Tiger Profound Realm, the White Tiger had already found out about the news, and it was from the patriarch of the White Tiger fighting race, Baijan. Prophet, are we not going to save him? Baijan asked. Instead of saving him, it's a good thing. I believe his friends are aware of this, so I won't allow any too strong people to cause trouble in the Churn martial continent. This is new Imperial Heaven World, it's the heaven and earth of the new generation. The White Tiger said. Churn Xiang was sealed in a villa in the profound Ice City, and was currently focusing on refining pills. From the very beginning, he did not wish for anyone to save him, unless it was a white tiger or a strong one. Churn Xiang was sealed in a villa in the profound Ice City, and was currently focusing on refining pills. From the very beginning, he did not wish for anyone to save him, unless it was a white tiger or a strong one. When 5,000 sets of Qi Shin Dan's medicinal pellets were combined together, the quality could be imagined. If so many of them were condensed into a pellet, the quality would be extremely terrifying. The Qi Shin Dan in Chun Xiang's hand was very heavy. Even though it was only as big as a thumb, holding it in his hand was as heavy as holding a hammer of God. This pill took him 2 months to concoct. He looked at the pill in his hand that was emitting a strong green light, thinking to swallow such a pill into his own stomach. He felt a little afraid that he would not be able to control the violent and surging medicine aura. At this stage, just relying on pills was not enough to break through. He still needed to comprehend it, otherwise he would not be able to refine and absorb the energy inside. Only when he comprehended the true meaning of martial Tao would he be able to quickly absorb the energy and use it to expand his own dantian, strengthening his own body. This was extremely important. If Churn Xiang did not have a philosophic stone, he would not have dared to eat this kind of Qi Shin Dan that contained a boundless energy. If he was unable to comprehend something, the inside of his body would be filled with a strong power that would not leak out, and that would only cause him to be injured and go berserk. Comprehension referred to guiding one's strength to develop the hidden strength within one's body, while strengthening the body and the soul. As for how the process was, everyone was different, so at this point in time, one could only rely on themselves. Some people could suddenly understand how to use their own strength to strengthen themselves, but at this time, they lacked the resources to cultivate. Some people had their own resources, but it was difficult for them to comprehend them, so they became stagnant and finally died of old age. After eating that Super Qi Shin Dan, Chun Xiang circulated his divine arts and quickly refined it, refining it into innate Qi and God power. Then, it condensed into a heaven pellet in his dantian. Not long after, Chun Xiang's forehead started to perspire, with a serious expression on his face. It was obvious that he had encountered difficulties in his cultivation. Although the divine power could crazily rush into the divine sense sea, it was unable to open up the divine sense sea, nor could it strengthen the divine soul. The innate Qi could also enter the dantian smoothly, but it could not enter the 5 beast statue S and could not nurture the heavenly pellet. Obviously, he had encountered bottlenecks that would often occur after he reached the nirvana stage. He tried using the method he had previously used to cultivate, and poured all of the vigorous energy into his dantian and divine sense C. However, these energies were clearly outside his control, and after entering the dantian and divine sense C, he was not allowed to freely command them. Chen Xiang anxiously took out the philosophic stone and used his mind consciousness to enter the philosophic stone. Suddenly, many mysterious spirit grains appeared in his mind, making him feel as if he had fallen into a sea made of spirit grain. Unknowingly, he realized that the spirit grain inside the philosophic stone seemed to have intelligence, and had slowly turned into a person. If one looked carefully, the human figures formed by the countless spirit grain looked like the innumerable meridians in the human body. What's going on? Chen Xiang only felt the spirit grain's figure floating towards him, and in the blink of an eye, it pounced on him. The power in his divine sense C and dantian that seemed to have been cut off, surged out like a flood that had broken through the dam. Chen Xiang had entered into a very wonderful state, and he couldn't tell what it was like either. He only felt that the 5 beast statue in his dantian were all filled with dense energy, and the divine sense C was also expanding bit by bit under the impact of the divine power. He knew that the philosophic stone could help him relax a little, but he never thought that it would actually help him get through this crisis so quickly. No wonder the philosophic stone were so precious. Previously, he had only been able to refine those profound being by using them. This philosophic stone is really something. Chen Xiang sighed in admiration in his heart, then concentrated on cultivating. As long as one could condense a core embryo within each beast statue, the nirvana doom would arrive. However, Chen Xiang was not sure if his nirvana doom could penetrate such a powerful barrier. If not, then he would not be able to pass through nirvana doom. After 3 months, he finally finished digesting the entire O Super Qi Shindan. But the 7th heaven pill's embryo was extremely dim. A single Qi Shindan like that can only have this kind of effect. Although Chen Xiang was already prepared in his heart, he didn't expect that the Qi Shindan that he had created in 3 months would have so little effect. The next 3 tribulations of the nirvana doom are the hardest to break through. You should be satisfied with how you were able to achieve such a result in a short half a year. Su Meiyao said. Ah, so you're saying that I haven't made much progress in 10 years. Chen Xiang felt that he had to speed up his concocting process. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to leave even 10 years later. That may not be so. If you are able to break through the 7 nirvana tribulations, you might have a great chance. Bai Yu said, those who pass through the 7th tribulation, after going through the baptism of the 7 nirvana tribulations, will normally possess a body with strength called devastating golden body, which is based on the strength of your original body. Even if my physical body is powerful, I might not be able to escape this place. Furthermore, I am sealed here. It is hard to say whether or not I will be able to escape the nirvana tribulation. Chen Xiang sighed. Long Shui yawned and said, Little scoundrel, don't think that you're the only one who's trapped here. This Dragon Emperor isn't good, so if your physical body is strong enough, then my power can completely fuse with yours. I don't want to strike you down. Honestly speaking, even though you are a genius, you are still a human after all. No matter how fast your cultivation is, you can't be faster than me. TSK, you can't even catch up to me when you flatter me. Chen Xiang had not considered Long Xue's power before, and he had indeed admitted that Long Xue was much stronger than him. He had borrowed Long Xue's power many times in the past, so he had a deep understanding of this. Regardless of whether or not I can get out, the most important thing for me right now is to constantly strengthen myself. Chen Xiang clenched his fist and said, Of course, I feel that your Dewan refining method can be increased to 30, 40, or even 50 batches per batch. This will save you a lot of time. Su Meiyao said. Refining such a big pill required time. Even though Chen Xiang's refining skills were superb, he would first need a large number of ingredients, and then a large number of creation divine liquid would be required to duplicate a large number of ingredients. During the process of refining, he would need to smelt them one by one, and then fuse them all together. Otherwise, with his previous speed, he would need more than 3 months to successfully refine one pellet, and the effect would not be very good. Hence, he planned to refine 10,000 sets of Super Qi Shindan S, and the effect would be much greater, as the energy contained in 10,000 sets of herbs would be condensed together. One could imagine how high the quality would be. Chen Xiang could use it multiple times to multiple 1. task, and as he was condensing creation divine liquid S at the same time as comprehending the heaven-earth killing method, he had only touched on a little of these killing techniques, so he was not too familiar with them. However, they gave him a very strong power, so as long as he had time, he would definitely try to comprehend the 3 heaven-earth killing method S that he had obtained. Time flew by, in a blink of an eye. 3 years had already passed, and the room that Chen Xiang built here had grown a lot. In order to be able to contain more pill furnaces, he could now control 80 pill furnaces. Chen Xiang had already eaten a few Supreme Qi Shindan with the grade of 10,000 medicinal ingredients, but he was still a ways away from breaking through. However, what made him happy was that in the past 3 years, he had been using philosophic stone non-stop, and this not only allowed him to cultivate, it also allowed him to comprehend some methods of using the spatial laws. In terms of spatial laws, there were probably not many people that had this kind of power, thus no one could guide Chen Xiang. He could only rely on himself to comprehend, otherwise, he would only waste this kind of divine object.